Welcome to the 100th episode.
This is a podcast. It's not just a noise-making session. This is our
Depends, dude. If you're you, it's a podcast. If you're me, it's a noise-making session.
And if you're me, it's interrupting you all the time.
Interrupting who?
Moo.
This is our one. This is our 100th episode, and it's off to a mess.
Yes. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
And this is Bad Movies,
Worst People.
Times 100.
Woo!
Wait, what was that?
Woo!
And who's this movie directed by? Woo! Thank you.
We're back. We were already back because I was on there, but we're back. We're talking about 1993's John Woo American debut, Hard Target.
And the reason that it started as a mess is because we are all three the Excite. This
All the
movie
Excite.
is, I'm just going to speak for all of us. We love this movie.
Yeah.
There's a reason we chose it. It wasn't unseen before. So, I mean, spoil the recommendations, but yeah, we recommended it to ourselves.
Let's break down why it's considered a bad movie. How did it do in box office?
It did okay. It cost $18 million. It made $32 million in U.S. and Canada, $74 million worldwide.
That's not too bad.
So it did all right.
Yeah, did pretty good by our standards.
But I think it's considered a bad movie because the star is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
And
And despite how
We
much I
love
love him and
Oh.
I own so many of his movies, I don't think
Terrible.
any of his movies are considered good.
I was just going to kind of get into that. Like, you're talking to one of the biggest JCVD fans.
Mhm.
He is probably the weak spot of this movie.
Don't you have a what would JCVD do bracelet?
I do. I had to make it myself because he wouldn't sell me one. He's no longer returning my
He
calls.
wears it for himself, though.
I was like, I have a really good idea. It's like, it's a good idea. I am now wearing that forever. What
His
would
just
I
says
do?
WWID.
Yeah. But no, I mean, this movie is really, really awesome. And he is awesome in it for the sense of this podcast. But I think if you put somebody else here that has acting and fighting chops, it's a much bigger movie. And you just told me it did good.
Yeah.
But this could be much like Stone Cold. This could be a household name.
Well, maybe much like Stone Cold.
Stone Cold should be a household name.
Oh, okay. I
Is
was
what I'm
like,
saying.
pretty sure this is more well known than
Hey,
that.
every house I hang out in knows Stone Cold because I bring a copy with me.
It might have done better if Jean-Claude Van Damme had kept his grubby little fingers off it.
Derek has informed me there is somewhere out there, not in distribution, but on the cutting room floor is a John Woo cut.
Oh, so
Because-
it's going to be like an hour longer, right?
It's like about 2 hours, so only about 25 minutes longer.
Okay.
But it's going to have more Lance, and that's never a bad thing.
And that was the big thing. Van Damme said, "This is a Van Damme movie, not a Lance Henriksen movie."
And
So-
I'll
this
be
is a
damned
damn
if
Van Damme movie, not a
I'll
damn
be
Henderson
damned
movie.
if anybody gets their greasy hands on my film right.
Yeah, so John Woo directed it with some assistance from Sam Raimi,
Yes.
which I just recently learned.
Yeah.
Because Universal, this was John Woo's first American movie. His previous one was Hard Boiled, which kind of blew him up in America. It was a huge movie over here, even though it wasn't English and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, this was around the time we're getting like Jackie Chan and that kind of
Sure,
stuff. So
sure.
it was becoming more popular here as far as mainstream audiences go. But
We've always been looking for the next Bruce Lee.
yeah, but he did it, and then he edited it with a guy named Murashawa, I think his name was, and he loved it. And Jean-Claude Van Damme was like, "Nope, not enough me." So he locked himself in the editing room with another guy for like 2 days, and they re-edited
They just
it.
sat there and jerked each other off.
Yeah. And apparently there was a big thing. Oh, so Sam Raimi was there because Universal wasn't 100% confident that John Woo could direct American actors or English speaking actors
Yeah.
well because he didn't speak any English at the time. He had a translator on set.
Well, it doesn't show because it came out well.
Yeah, it was Sam Raimi was there, but he's like, I didn't have to do anything. But the one thing I did see,
we did get something.
I was
because
watching
of
an
it.
interview with John Woo about this, and apparently Sam Raimi, they had a big meeting with executives and whatnot, and Sam Raimi stood up for him as far as like this being a Van Damme cut.
Yeah.
He was like, this is bullshit. He's like, you want a John Woo movie? Make it a fucking John Woo movie, not a Van Damme movie.
He is an actor. He did his part.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's up to the other people to do their parts.
And John Woo was saying, he's like, I had no idea how to handle any of this because that would never happen in Hong Kong. But also, apparently, at least at the time, there weren't like popular directors in Hong Kong. People just went to see movies.
yeah. I mean, also JCVD is the biggest thing at this time in this movie. Rather, like from this movie, nobody's bigger. Say what you want about Sven-Ole Thorsen.
No, what about Lance?
Lance is a less than a household name, sadly.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
think,
say so.
I mean, he's known at this point. You know, he did Aliens.
Uh-huh.
I mean, kind of his biggest solo
Didn't he
outing,
he did that one movie with the guy in the wheelchair,
Uh-huh.
Savage Dawn.
Savage Dawn.
Yeah, but that's
He
not like a.
did
That's
The-
not a household
We're
name.
talking about
either.
Stone
movies
Cold.
people have seen, though.
Yeah,
Like
didn't
the
people
reason we're
see
talking about most of these movies is nobody saw them.
I mean, for anybody that's listening to this and people that are on this podcast, it's a household name.
Yes.
You
Yeah, I
fucking
mean,
love Laney
My
Hen.
daughter knows who Lance Hendricks.
Yeah. Raised her
Hendrickson is.
right. Raised her right.
But there's another fun little cameo we get.
he's also in
because-
Terminator, by the way.
Yeah, but because Sam Raimi directed this, we get a fun little cameo.
We don't get Sam Raimi. We get some Raimi.
We get some Raimi.
Well, Sam Raimi doesn't appear in his own movies, but Ted Raimi appears in everything he's even tangentially
He's
related
the,
with.
He's the poor man's, what's the Howard's name? Not
Oh,
Ron.
The brother.
good God.
Yeah. That's where I'm
Clint.
at right now.
Yes.
Clint.
Thank you. Jesus.
Yeah, he's the poor man's Clint Howard.
Quick and the Dead was after this.
I believe
right?
so.
Yeah, 95.
As she was talking about
so-
big movies that he would have been in. I
Yeah.
mean, Aliens.
Well, my parents loved him.
I mean, before this, the biggest movie he was in that was like a Lance Henriksen movie
Powder?
was Pumpkinhead.
Oh, okay. Oh, Powder's
Which-
after
Mm.
this.
Yeah. Which is a fairly popular horror movie.
That's the kid
but
with the
again,
big fat bottle Coke glasses and like
Coke bottle.
isn't that what I
You
said?
said bottle Coke.
Oh.
She
might
was
have
thinking
a
about the old days when she used to buy bottles of cocaine.
I might have had a stroke and I've been talking backwards all day.
Oh, we got to see somebody about that.
There's like this creature thing that comes out and it
Yeah.
doesn't look anything like a pumpkin.
My sister made me watch
Yeah.
that when I was a kid. Of
No,
course
it's
she
cool.
did.
Smart. But no, and I'm trying. I love Lance.
Mhm.
I just don't think he's a household name. If you ask most people on the street, out of 20, I would say maybe one or two know him
Okay.
by
Yeah.
name.
And you could show him a picture and some people might be like, oh, Bishop.
Yeah,
But
I think you're gonna get that more
Yeah.
than anything. Is Bishop, the android,
I did see.
or was he an iPhone?
Or what, did I read it or did I see it in the John Woo interview I watched? I can't remember. But there was a thing about John Woo they had like a screening as Hollywood does. You know, people come to see the movie.
Sure.
And he I guess John Woo turned to a producer and was like, we don't ever do this in Hong Kong. Like, this is weird. And he's like, well, how do you know if people like the movie or not? And he responded, well, because if they don't like the movie, then they light the movie theater on fire and cut the seats.
Jesus.
we are in high stakes critics here, dude. You ready to go to the movies? Yeah. You got your candy? Yeah. You got your box cutter? Yeah. You got your gasoline and matches? You bet.
But John Woo had a couple scripts on his plate for his first American Hollywood movie. And one of them was Face Off, which he turned down to do this. And then 4 years later, he did Face Off anyway.
Which I fucking love Face Off.
I just love that
Gonna
they had
take
the
his
script.
face off?
No more drugs for that man.
I love that they had the script and John Woo said no. And they were like, well, just wait till he says yes.
Nobody else is going to do this.
Apparently, he didn't like the sci-fi elements of it. That wasn't like his thing. He did Hong Kong action crime.
I mean, outside of
type
the
stuff.
face swapping, I guess. Oh, I guess that magnetic boot jail cell.
Yeah. All that stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really call that sci-fi.
I wouldn't either, but if you're John Woo, like compared to this movie, it is.
Yeah.
This movie is just good old down home cooking. The gumbo was tragedy.
All right. Let's get to this.
Please.
The tale of
Let's dive in.
Hard Target.
The Tale of
So,
Hard Target. It
I mean-
runs longer than Jean-Claude Van Damme's extensions.
Which did not look bad.
John Woo did do other movies people might know besides Face Off. He did Broken Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
He
Another
did,
John Travolta.
unfortunately, Mission Impossible 3.
Oh.
Like, so he did a bunch of cool Hong Kong movies. Then he had this. He had Broken Arrow. He had Face Off. And then he had Mission Impossible 3.
Did they
Wind
let
Talkers.
him woo on 3?
What?
And did they let him woo
Or
out?
2. Sorry, Mission Impossible 2, not 3. My
Oh.
bad.
Oh, and
Also terrible.
it woos out into.
They woo the fuck out,
It's
but
a-
it's
it's-
also the worst Mission Impossible.
Okay.
It's the wrong wooing.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm sure Tom Cruise had something to do with that. But yeah, he
Probably.
did Mission Impossible 2, Wind Talkers, Paycheck. So like a bunch of bad movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wind Talkers might be okay.
Wind Talkers might be the exception, you said. I do, however, we've talked about Broken Arrow a couple times. It's just come up on this podcast. I haven't seen it in a long time. That might be worth watching.
Yeah.
It's got Howie Long.
Well, it's got Christian Slater.
Well, it's got John
Ooh.
Travolta.
Yeah,
Well, it's got
Christian
me
Slater.
eating
Well, it's got
popcorn.
Princess Daisy. I forget the actress's name.
Samantha
Daphne
Mathis.
Zaweldagus.
Samantha Mathis. I
Wait,
don't
she
know
was
who
really-
Daphne Zaweldagus is.
She was really close with this
She-
Daphne Zaweldagus.
She was real close to Daphne Zuniga from Melrose Place.
Is that where you're going?
Yes.
Oh, I was pretty excited. I thought you just made up a name, Daphne Zaweldaga. Or I was
I
hungry
mean,
for
yeah,
soup.
no, I totally just like thought of that on the fly.
Yeah.
buddy.
This one
You know
was
that
written,
famous actress Jennifer Cockensticks?
This one was written by a guy named Chuck Farr, who wrote the first movie he wrote was Sudden Impact, which was the 4th Dirty Harry movie, I think.
Oh, sorry. When you said sudden impact, I was thinking of Jean-Claude Van Damme, where there's a bomb in the fucking ice rink.
No, he wrote the
That's sudden death.
Sudden Death. Okay. He also wrote Navy SEALs, Darkman, Barbed Wire, The Jackal,
Darkman.
Virus. Some other movies that we'll be talking
Stay
about.
close by for Darkman, please.
Stay close by for all those. By the way, I have Darkman on 4K.
Of course you do.
And Navy SEAls.
Less surprising, or more surprising, I guess. Less on the nose.
Oh, and then the cinematographer here, which I want to mention just because this looked really good. He did a good job, even though John Woo said that the guy was like, why are we shooting in this warehouse at the end? Because he's like, this is impossible to light, this huge space with all this crazy shit.
Yeah,
But
I
he
didn't
did a
think
good
about
job.
lighting that. It looks good.
But that guy named Russell Carpenter, he also
I
shot
like to rustle up a carpenter
Russell
every now and then.
Carpenter.
he also shot Death Warrant. So Jean-Claude Van Damme. And True Lies.
Wow,
Yeah.
James Cameron vehicle.
Yeah. He
By
did
the
a
way,
couple
Death
James
Warrant,
Camerons.
fantastic. Just watch that.
Yeah.
Like, just not even for the podcast. Just watch that.
He did a couple James Camerons because he also shot Titanic and Avatar 2, but
Uh-huh.
who could care?
Yeah, I could
And he
not care
shot the
about that.
first Ant-Man, which was the good one.
Oh, I was just gonna say I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a caper.
I have one last thing I want to mention because Sam Raimi's here, Jean-Claude Van Damme's here. Apparently, they had talks while they were working on
He
this
was gonna play Spider-Man.
about doing a movie together.
Spider-Man.
No, not Spider-Man.
That would have been great. With great power comes great. What's my line? Responsibility.
I don't.
I am
shit.
15.
I didn't write down the name of it.
High school is tough for me. What are you doing, sexy mama?
I didn't write down the name of it. Just imagine, Jean-Claude Van Damme doing the Tobey Maguire like cool guy thing from Spider-Man 3.
Where he's doing a little fucking dance and shit.
We've already seen Van Damme dance.
Oh, God, yeah.
Bloodsport and
Kickboxer.
Kickboxer. Or was it Kickboxer, not Bloodsport?
Kickboxer, he's dancing because his
I always get
teacher
those
gets
two
him all
mixed up.
fucked up. And
Yeah.
then he fucking makes him dance to those chicks and then tells the guys they have small peepees.
Is that the one with the Cessna? No, that was not.
No, that's
That's
Lionheart.
Lionheart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was the only previous Universal movie that Van Damme had done before this.
God, I love
They,
Van
they
Damme.
cast Van Damme because they wanted to be in the Van Damme business.
Uh-huh.
The damn Van Damme business.
But I didn't write down the name. Oh no, here it is. Okay. So Steve
Steve, you know him? You know him well?
Raimi.
Oh, okay. You know him well enough to change his first name.
Sam Raimi was going to direct a movie with Van Damme called Steel Donkeys,
Oh,
which there's a reason behind
This
it.
is getting great.
But all right, so this is just taken from IMDb trivia, so I don't know.
Did
But
you mean like steel as in the material or
yes,
take donkeys?
Steel is in the
Okay.
metal.
okay.
Either
So
one's fun.
The story of the script, which is said to be very violent and gory, followed a gang of thieves, Van Damme playing the leader, who break into an old bank in Amsterdam during a Queen's Day festival. And while they're stealing diamonds from the bank, the gang members accidentally release an alien shape-shifting demon,
Whoa.
which would explain the title, I guess, because supposedly Jamaican Yardies use the term steel donkeys for soul-sucking demons. So,
Wow.
and
There are
So Van
layers
Damme
to
was-
this.
it was
was
trapped
gonna be-
inside the building since the Second World War. The police show up, put the building under siege, And the gang members have to find a way to survive and escape at the same time while fighting against the demon who starts possessing and killing them one by one.
So Van Damme is going to be a bad guy?
No,
Well, like
no,
a bad guy
'cause
you root for.
What was
Okay.
the movie where it starts where he's like an old fucking clown French thief in France? And he's got a little gang, it's like very Fabian in Oliver Twist. Like he's got a gang of thieves. Actually, it
not-
starts with him, an old man drinking coffee, and he stops a robbery. He's like, "Let me tell you a story."
It's not Legionnaire, is it?
Maybe
I
it's
don't
the
know.
Quest. Is it the Quest?
It could be the Quest.
It might be
His
The
movies are.
Quest.
If you watch too many in a row, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, they blend together hard.
So Jean-Claude Van Damme is a street fighter.
Not in Street Fighter.
I was thinking of Lionheart, and then I said it out loud.
Well, I did Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I think I said it on here before, but every movie he does is a better street fighting movie than
Than
Street
Street
Fighter.
Fighter.
Yeah.
There's 100%
This is a
more
better
street
movie
fighting.
than Street Fighter.
Well, better movie for sure, but like
A Street
there's
Fighter
actually
movie.
street fighting in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his kicks.
Yeah.
We get a lot of
Oh, boy.
kicks.
And he has the same accent he does when he plays Guile. You know, the American hero, Guile.
All American.
I fucking just love that. I'm like, you chose who for Guile?
I love crepes and cigarettes. I am American. Pancakes. I apologize.
I mean pancakes, did I say? And did I say cigarettes? I mean cigars. Big, beautiful cigars cut open with weed put in them. Blunts, it's a hip hop life. Get out of the way or get in.
Oh, damn.
So we start. We start.
Well, stop. So you've been doing too many accents, man. You don't even know where you begin anymore, man. You fucking lost it.
We start in Nolans.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, you've been to Nolans.
I have
That's why he says it that way.
No,
I've never
it's-
been, so I have to call it New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans, dude. I'm not that guy.
Call it Vampire Central.
Pennsylvania?
with this homeless guy whose name is Doug Binder, who's being
It's
played
Binder.
It's Binder.
who's being played by Chuck Farrer, the writer.
It's fair.
It's
It just sounds like you're forgetting to say, like, Chuck Farrer. Like, there's something else that comes after, like,
Farrer.
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 So PF,
Pfarrer.
it's
Oh,
far.
that's Par. Far. That's Par.
I'm Chuck Farrer.
I see why you changed your name when you got to this country. your name's Joe Dirt. Don't church it up.
Pfeiffer is PF, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's
Like
pronounced
pterodactyl.
pie her because I like to pie her.
Yeah.
So this guy's being hunted in
Meow.
New Orleans by
You've heard it once. You've heard it 1,000 times.
some faceless dudes on dirt bikes, Arnold Vosloo and Lance Henriksen.
And apparently American Tamora Morrison,
Yes.
time traveling because he's older now.
Wait, is that this one or is that the guy who's hunting? Yeah, that's this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he
it's this
has
one.
what I think is the stupidest weapon. I get it though. Like I think it's stupid practicality wise, but it's the harpoon gun.
Oh.
Or electric spear gun. It's not a crossbow.
Yeah.
It's not a bow and arrow, but it's shooting bolts, not arrows.
Correct.
And I guess it's just you're brutal, right? You're like, oh, I want to see him like kind of bleed out a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to give him a sporting chance, even though I have all these dudes on dirt bikes with machine guns hurting him into where I need him to be.
Yeah.
I still want to give him kind of a chance.
Yeah, 'cause this is your classic most dangerous game scenario.
Yes.
You've got rich people paying to hunt poor people because they're all out of thrills. And
If
the
you're
only thrill
half-
left is hunting man.
$500,000.
Yeah.
If you're our age, you probably read the story in high school.
Doesn't he charge them more at the end? Doesn't he say something about like you're each paying $750,000 to do this or something?
I think that's the very last one.
Yeah, that's
because
what I
it's-
mean when they're chasing.
Yeah,
down-
because it's like this is the top dog. You want to play fucking one-on-one with Michael Jordan? You better fucking bring your
Yeah.
bring your cash.
There's a reason why it's all of you and not just one of you.
Yeah.
yeah, and
yeah.
Sven Thorson has.
But whoever kills him
$750,000.
gets their account wiped.
But so Arnold Vosloo is playing Pick Van Cleef, and Arnold Vosloo, if you don't know, is the Mummy.
The Mummy. He is so great. Like in this especially.
He's really trim in this.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, actually he's a little bit bigger. If you go back and look at the Mummy, the Mummy won.
I just watched
He's
it.
skinny though. Like fit skinny. This is him like
He
you're
still
kind of
looks-
intimidating or you're much more intimidating.
Maybe because he's like in all black and
and you guys
black
got the
is
big
slimming.
suit on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just looks very slim. Because I just watched it the other day with Mike and Ryan.
Well, not heavy here, just beefy.
Beefy's a
And-
better word.
Well, in the Mummy, he's half naked and like,
yeah, he is.
Cut.
I'd even say he's more than he's like 2/3 naked.
And we'll see him again because we'll talk about Mummy movies, and he's also in both those GI Joe fucking live action
that's
movies.
Right. I Love to watch
and he
those.
makes an appearance, and I can't remember how major he is because I don't remember noticing him, but he makes an appearance at least in Steel Dawn, which was that Patrick Swayze Mad Max movie I was telling you about.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't have to sell me more, but you did.
Lance Henriksen is playing Emile Fouchon, but he's just Lance Henriksen for us.
He's Fouchon, huh?
Yeah.
I heard that name once or twice. You really don't hear it much.
No.
And I was like, Fouchon. Oh, because he even says he's not English
He
or
is
not American.
he is looking mighty tasty.
Dude, he is looking like the fucking straight up devil in a sexy way.
And I am not mad. We've all learned that Whitney has now gone to the dark
We know
side.
you. We know your sexy movie.
We don't have to repeat
Steeped
it.
with murder.
So this beginning part is this guy getting killed by these hunters, and right out of the gate we get multiple bada booms.
We get a lot of wooisms too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a dirt bike that explodes. There's a tackle shop that Arnold Vosloo shoots with a grenade launcher.
There's the slow motions.
There's some slow motion.
You have him roll with him being Binder has the oil can rolling down, throwing it, and then they shoot that and it explodes another fucking motorcycle.
Yeah,
Like we're setting a tone here.
but he gets murdered.
It's a lot of bada boomas.
All he had to do was make it to the river,
And he almost, did by how Lance is saying it.
Yeah,
And $10,000
$10,000. They have this belt that has $10,000 in it. If they make it to the river, it's theirs. I doubt that.
I
but
was
that's
gonna
what he
say,
says.
do you,
You know
really
what?
think that
I do think so. Because otherwise Lance would just walk up to Pick and be like, don't fucking let him get to the river. Like you have to kill him before that or right after and take the belt. He seems like concerned. We've never had anybody win and he's about to.
Yeah,
In my mind, Lance is an honorable devil.
okay?
but
But then if they were to win, they could just be like, yeah, this guy is killing people.
They're not from here.
this guy that looks like Satan was hunting me with the mummy,
Uh-huh.
and the police just chase these homeless
Oh,
guys.
I was
right
going to say
out.
a homeless person comes into a fucking police station. So the devil and the mummy are hunting me. Get out.
Well, honestly,
Well, there was a rich guy there too. He had a harpoon gun. You can go.
Get the fuck out of here.
it's like
This isn't
later
G.I.
on
Joe.
when the other homeless guy is like begging for help, and everyone's like, "Don't fucking touch me!
Get a job, you bum.
I ain't got no change, man."
And yeah, dude.
Dude, Ted Raimi is great in that. I got no change, man.
I got nothing, man. No change.
Doing
man.
his best Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, he is.
He was. I didn't hate it.
So then we're introduced to Yancey Butler, who's playing
Yancey!
Natasha Bender.
Woo! I'm gonna do a lot of woos because of John Woo.
And how do we know Yancey?
Well,
Eyebrows.
she's in Drop Zone.
Yeah, she
So
is.
we'll be talking about her next year. Don't change that dial.
She's got great eyebrows.
We're going to have, spoiler alert for the future, 1 year from now, actually,
Oh yeah.
we're going to have an entire month of skydiving movies.
Sky-Tember? Is that where we're going with?
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Remember the 5th of Sky Timber.
Apparently, she plays a mom in Kick-Ass also, but I don't remember that.
Oh,
I didn't
couldn't-
recognize anything else she was in.
Yeah.
So, but I did, as soon as I saw Drop Zone on her credits, I was like, oh yeah, that's the girl that Wesley Snipes should have fucked, but America's afraid of interracial relationships.
We aren't. They
No,
just
but
think we
they are in movies.
I
Not
know.
in Commando. That was way earlier.
Oh yeah, that's
Dude,
right.
Arnold is getting all up in that. Oh fuck!
Oh,
What's
she's
her
got a
name?
great name.
She's got an awesome
Ray
name.
Sean Don.
Ray Dong Chan.
Ray Dong-
Ray Don Chan. I don't know.
Hold on, I want to bring it up because we're assholes if we don't know it.
Ray R-A-E.
No,
Dawn,
like-
as in the sun's coming.
Ray
out.
Don Chong.
Okay.
R-A-E, Don, and then Chong.
Okay.
Like D-O-N or
No,
D-A-W-N?
like Don.
I don't know why the Age of Aquarius just started playing in my head.
This is
but-
the dawning of the age of Ray Don Chong.
But they weren't afraid in that movie. Arnold
No.
gets all up in those guys.
Hell yeah, I think that was Arnold just
It's
making
because
the moves
Arnold
on
wasn't
her.
American.
Arnold's like, I have no problem with this race thing you guys keep speaking of.
Well, also
sexy is sexy. I don't care what you look like as long as you look good.
they kill an awful lot of non-white people in that movie, so
Yeah.
maybe that was their way of making up for it.
There you go.
No, it's okay. Look, they're together.
But she's there in New Orleans, in Nolens, looking for her dad, her daddy.
Her daddy or papa.
The first person she
cher.
meets looking for him. Well, once she finds out he's homeless, she meets Elijah Roper, who's played by a guy named Willie Carpenter, who's the black guy, the black homeless guy that
Yeah.
gets hunted later in the movie.
He was. He said what he was in the military. I think he was a Marine.
Yeah.
He's like a big character actor. He's in a bunch of things going through his credits.
Melrose
His
Place.
jacket
He was
said
at Melrose Place as a cop.
Airborne.
Oh, okay. Airborne Ranger.
Yeah,
Good,
he was
good
a
catch.
ranger.
Thank you.
Willie Carpenter will probably be back because he had a part in a movie called Brawl on Cell Block 99, which was a Vince Vaughn movie.
Vince Vaughn, I saw half of that.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
Which is it's pretty entertaining, but it's not good. So it'll
I
probably
haven't
be
seen
here.
it, so
Yeah,
it'll
you
be
have.
new to me. Shh.
You watched it when we were in Colorado with our friend Michael,
It's still new to her.
and he
Oh,
also
is that when I fell asleep or when I left with his wife?
I don't know.
Both were the same time.
He also appears in Leprechaun Back to the Hood,
Up to no
So-
good.
so we'll probably be seeing him again.
We will definitely be seeing him. Whether we record an episode or not is yet to be seen.
Leprechaun in the Hood is probably the best Leprechaun, which
That
isn't
Leprechaun
saying much.
Back in the
No,
Hood.
Leprechaun Back to the Hood is one of the worst Leprechauns.
Which is that the one that has the dudes that cross dress for a bit? Like they have the flute that makes
I
everybody.
think that's Back to the Hood. Yeah.
Back to the Hood is awful, and I love it. A friend with weed is a friend indeed.
But he's telling her like, "Oh, he lived like the rest of us, out of doors." It's the
Yeah.
nicest way to say homeless.
I thought the same thing. I was
Or
like, that's a
the
fun
unhomed.
I know,
term.
out of doors instead of outdoors.
Well, now they say the unhomed, but you know,
I'm all out of doors, dude. I got none left.
Now say it like walking.
I'm all out of doors. I got none left. We are out of doors. Like, my Doors albums broke, and now we're out of doors. Anyway.
he's all out of acid, is what he's saying.
Oh.
Oh, no. Starting to sober up. Reality seeping in. Don't let it. Yo, I am in the mood for like a really juicy IPA, and I don't see any in the fridge.
Yeah, I think I'm all out, but I do know a place we can go get some more.
Let's go to the Arizona Beer House.
Arizona Beer House. They have 34 taps with like almost 800 cans and bottles that you can drink in-house or take to go. And it's conveniently located at Broadway and Kolb, 150 South Kolb in Tucson, Arizona.
I'll tell you what, I'd tap that.
Let's head down to Arizona Beer House right now.
Let's go. I'll drive.
First pint's on me, guys.
All right.
Sharks of the Corn? Virus Shark? Cocaine Shark? Sharktopus? Yeah, those are all real movies. Join me, Steve Coates, as each week I take a comedic look at the bizarre world of sharksploitation cinema on Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.
But we meet Jean-Claude Van Damme hanging out at this diner, eating for free like an asshole.
Trying to.
No,
He gives her like 87 cents. That
He's
might have
trying to
paid
eat
his
for free
coffee.
because as soon as he's sitting there, she says, "How is the gumbo?" A tragedy. The coffee was tolerable. Well, you still got to pay for it. And he kind of looks up. He's like, "Oh, did you leave your wallet in your other tuxedo? Use that one on you before, did I?" This dude doesn't own a tuxedo. You have a crispy Aquanet velvet or Aquanet hairspray fucking mullet.
They don't say exclusively, like explicitly in this, but I think he's also supposed to be out of doors
correct.
because he's waiting for bids to go onto a ship. And
Oh
the
fuck
kinda-
no,
docks
dude!
and-
When you got a body like that and can do the splits, you are never out of doors.
When he's going to talk to Roper, they go like, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because of what you said. He's like, you know what? I know somebody in there, so you look at the line for your dad. I'm gonna go talk to people.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody there knows him.
Yeah.
So he
I'm not
lives
going to
in
say you
that
guys are wrong.
area.
I took it as he helps homeless people whenever he can.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah, because
But
he's
it-
also,
but
but he's
it could
also,
be that
he's
he's-
also broke and like,
Yeah.
He's past due.
Yeah, I would be
he's in
homeless if I
arrears on
didn't
his-
have such a sweet dick. Turns out it's a wonderful.
so
cock.
he is homeless, but he just finds places to sleep every night.
Yeah.
Yes.
with
He's a
these
man
with
hoe.
these Southern belles.
All I charge is room, board, and a bowl of jambalaya. Tragedy.
I'll make you some jambalaya.
What a terrible. Like, oh, I would love it. What a terrible review to leave a server. Like, how was your food? A tragedy. So's your hair, fuckface.
Yeah, let's address the hair.
Let's.
So he's got this greasy fucking mullet through this whole movie, which looks real, but apparently, according to Yancey Butler, at least, it's extensions. Very expensive extensions, but extensions.
I think that's why they had to give it that like crunchy.
The moose look.
Yeah, he's about to go get a glamour shot.
Ooh.
Yeah,
He's got
or
that
it's
real
just he's just
crunchy
in
hair.
Nolans and it's fucking sweaty and gross there all the
But
time.
it doesn't move like sweaty and gross. It moves like
Stiffness.
dried ramen.
Yep.
Like ramen
Yes.
before
So, like,
you put it in the
I was
hot
gonna say
water.
before you cook it or after you cook it and then let it
Oh
sit
no,
out.
when you've
Actually, a
only
little bit more like that.
when you had it in the water for about 1 minute, and so
Uh-huh.
it's still together.
Like it's just a little give, but not a lot.
Yeah, it's a little under al dente, which I don't think you can cook ramen
Too
to.
much dente. Yeah, you gotta cook the whole way through, otherwise you get worms.
But Nat is here, flashing around her big fat stack of tens.
Do you have
Oh
change
no,
for
that
1,000?
top bill was $100
Yeah,
bill.
for sure.
Oh, okay. And these dudes who are sitting there see it, and Jean-Claude Van Damme sees them seeing her.
I see you seeing
Oh,
her.
another woo shot. We're looking at reflections
Yeah,
now.
he's walking out. He's walking out of the diner, and he sees the reflection of the goons in the window or the mirror. Or it's a window.
This movie, this is gonna be the first time of many times that it just poses him in the most badass frame.
Yeah.
Like
So-
him, he's got this black, like it's not quite a duster, it's like a pea coat.
It is.
It's really close to Boondock Saints.
Yes.
It's a longer version of that, I guess.
John Woo said that Van Damme kept telling him to get he wanted basically an extra camera there to always get shots of his muscles in every shot.
It's part of the movie I don't need.
Woo was like, I got all those shots, didn't use any of them. I mean, we get a couple muscle shots at the end.
Yeah, at the very end, and
But,
those are the
like-
ones that I'm like, that's a not Woo move for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that was Van Damme going back and being like, he didn't even use the fucking muscle shots.
Look at that, I am flexing, and he did not film it.
The
Your
one
silk
that he is
underwear for
flexing.
nothing.
Where's that shot
It
where I
was
flex
weird.
my balls?
The one where he is flexing when he's tying something and he's just in his shirt and his pectorals go in.
Oh, he's wrapping a grenade in a shirt,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that one was when he's like tightening it. And
Get
it's
it
just
right.
like, but the funny thing is, he's tightening it, and you can see his bicep flex before he starts pulling. Like he's
Mhm.
like flex and pull.
Because it wasn't a shot that John Woo wanted, he just fucking used it.
Yeah.
John Woo's like, just put the camera on this guy's bicep to shut him up, please.
But, so these guys follow her out, start attacking her. Van Damme comes to her rescue. Take your pig stick and your boyfriend and find a bus out of here.
That's not a good like one-liner.
No.
You know, you need like take that pig stick and your girlfriend and go find a picnic.
A picnic.
And this is the first of 2 times in this movie where he tells someone, "Go get your boyfriend."
Yeah, I bet you he's probably a big homophobe.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's probably had dudes hit on him. He's like, no, don't swing that way.
I don't swing that
It
way in
swings only
public.
this way.
But if your wife, no, I'm gay. I know, but if your wife wants to fuck me, I don't have a wife. I'm gay. I know, but you're gay, but you also have a wife, right?
A
Do
beard.
you think he secretly did a bunch of gay stuff?
No,
I don't know. He's got that, like, I don't know.
dude.
He's pretty.
You know that Bleep's mom has met him
Yeah.
Oh,
and said that he just hit on her incessantly. She's a gorgeous, gorgeous woman.
she is. I can
But-
concur.
It is just like it's everything that you think he would be. He wasn't inappropriate in the sense of like touching or anything, but just nothing could be. It's anything you say. Can you hand me this? I can hand you anything.
I can hand you my
Oh,
dick.
Kind of, stuff
Yeah.
like, hey, how about you give me a number and I hand you a piece of paper and a pen. Write it down.
Can you hand me my drink? I've got something you can drink. Okay, that's enough, sir.
Yeah, it's very much like that. Oh, is your lips wet? I can moisten them. Please don't talk about moistening my lips.
I make your lips moist, huh?
he had a lot of plastic like face lifts, right?
I don't know. He doesn't look. He looks aged. now.
Yeah, I think no. I think a lot of makeup on camera.
he may have had like in late
Camera.
stage Van Damme, like in those early 2000s movies. He may have had like Botox and stuff.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Because I mean, in some of those movies, he looks a little made up, like fake. But if you look at more recent stuff like JCVD and stuff
Even
like that, he
what was it?
doesn't-
The second Expendables he's in,
Yeah.
where he steals that fucking show. Oh, I bet Sly Stone was pissed. It's my movie. I'm going to do better.
But so there's some ass kicking that ensues. He does make so he starts out by kicking these dudes. That's Van Damme's special, right? Kicking the shit out of dudes.
Oh, dude, sorry. You're not setting the scene right. He tells him to get the fuck out of here and then throws back that damn near trench coat. What would be in a Western to reveal the gun that he's about to draw, but it's his hip. He's about to kick you, and he's treating it like a fucking 6-shooter.
Not only does he kick the shit out of these dudes, he makes one of these dudes kick another dude in the face. Like this, he throws this guy on the hood of the car, flips him over, and kicks another guy in his face with his friend's foot.
Oh man, did you see that? That dude just made him kick that dude with his foot.
He hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
Damn. I think we get Jean-Claude Van Damme stuntman here because same hair.
Yeah.
and pretty close to the guy that was riding the motorcycle.
Oh, one of the thugs. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the thugs is looking
Because
exact.
Most
you
of
know
the time
what?
in these kind of movies,
No, hold on. He's wearing that denim shirt that we're gonna see JCVD in later when he's on the motorcycle. He's wearing it now.
Yeah.
Fucking lazy enough wardrobe, couldn't even put a shirt on him or a vest.
Well, and more often than not in these kind of movies, nameless thugs are also just stuntmen from the movie because they're like, well, you don't need to say lines. Maybe like, give me a purse or something. You know.
Maybe
Oh, yeah, one of
something
his
is-
stuntmen was one of the guys that.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Okay,
when
sorry.
you were
I went
reading.
through
you'll
a
hear it.
whole-
You'll hear it when you listen.
I
to
went
the
through a little deep dive, and his kids are gorgeous.
It's coming up later, but we get some great fuck. Yeah, you know what? Never mind. I'll save it.
Yeah, we'll get
I'll
there.
save it. I'm excited about it.
Are you an excite?
I'm an excited.
We go to the police station. The police are on strike, which seems like a pointless thing, but it explains why all this violence can go unchecked, I guess.
Uh-huh.
What is
The
it?
only
The
police
city
who aren't
stops
on
when there are no
strike-
cops.
Yeah. Like apparently the only police
the
who
city
aren't
does
on
not
strike
stop.
are our detective that we kind of spent some time with, but then there's a few other detectives that show up. So the detectives aren't on strike. It's just
It's
like
cops.
the-
It's beat
the
cops.
Beat cops, yeah.
That's it.
Which is important. So we meet Detective Mitchell, played by Cassie Lemons, who Whitney and I just watched in Vampire's Kiss with Nick Cage,
Ooh.
where I think the first movie where Nick Cage goes full Nick Cage.
He's figuring it out. Like
Yeah.
he's like, oh, I know what the people want.
Yeah.
She's also in
the fuck down.
she's also in Candyman, one of the main characters there.
Okay. Yeah.
She's in that one of them their Tupac movies, Gridlocked.
Oh, with Timothy Roth.
Yeah, going through her credits, I was like, so she got to do this and like Vampire's Kiss, and then she just did like she got 90s typecast. It's like, well, here's another black movie. You can
Yeah.
be in this, and which I
She's
mean,
so much more
some
than
of them
that.
are really good. I mean, Candyman is good and stuff, but like,
She is a beautiful woman, and she's probably one of the best actors on this movie.
But she's
Yeah.
better. She's not better than Lance Hendrickson, but that is a tall.
That is a
Tall
tall
order.
order to
But
try
I'd
and
say
jump
everybody
over.
else, because she doesn't share a scene with Lance. Pretty much everybody else that she's with, she takes the scene.
oh yeah,
Oh, 1000%.
and
She
basically
can't steal from Lance.
she's telling Nat like, your dad's homeless. I don't know what you want me to do. Like for someone
No,
to be
do
missing.
your fucking job.
For someone to be missing, there has to be somewhere they're missing from.
Yeah.
Which is
Uh,
pretty fucked up, but also
it's
probably
true.
the exact way the police would respond.
Yes.
It's probably
So-
the nicest way she could have said it, though.
And she does tell her, like, go check out this shelter. I can't remember,
She
Saint
said,
Charity
check out
or
the
something.
mission,
That sounds
check
about
out the
right.
shelters, check
Yeah,
out the.
it's like Saint Charity's mission or something. But she's like, by the way, if you're gonna go down there, get some protection, or I'll be filling out one of these forms about you.
Okay, cool. Get a condom.
So she goes and finds Jean-Claude Van Damme and offers him $100 a day to be her bodyguard, sidekick.
Something, because if I'm paying you $100 a day, does it really fucking matter?
Actually, it kind of does.
Yeah,
I make more than that for the dick.
No butt stuff. It is a unbendable rule. So the reason he goes with her though is because he is a able seaman, and he hasn't paid his union dues.
And we're all children, so anytime there's a boat involved, people say seaman. I'm like, I know what you mean, but
Especially you put a fucking adjective on it, able seaman.
Able
that
seaman.
implies there are unable seamen in your body. Oh, I need to jizz. I just can't.
I'm full of unable seamen. I've never had a kid.
They're able. You just put them on the wrong boat. You take the boat away before they leave the dock.
Sometimes they're on the right boat.
We've never.
All right. Well, maybe you did enough Mountain Dew and Cheetos like I did.
But he owes $217 to the union, so he can't sail. So then he goes to her and he's like, all right, I will work for you for 2 days for $217.
Yeah.
I do want to mention though, when he does, she's trying to leave. These guys block her with like a forklift full of barrels. And then it slowly turns out of the way, and we get another fucking hero shot of Jean-Claude
This is
Van
one of
Damme.
the many
We're
times-
15 minutes in this movie, and we've gotten 2 hero shots.
It's one of the many times I said this is one of the cool shots of the movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is 3 hero shots.
Uh-huh.
Because he walked out of the diner in slow motion.
Yep.
And then after he kicked those dudes' asses, he walked away in slow motion.
Yep.
And now he gets a slow motion reveal of
It's
these barrels moving out of the way.
fantastic. Unnecessary, very fantastic.
There's a few unnecessaries that were absolutely loved.
appreciated.
You know, and it's John Woo stuff. He likes his slow motion and whatnot. Apparently, American audiences had some trouble understanding slow motion at the time. They associated, from what I was watching in an interview with somebody, it might have been John Woo. American audiences associate slow motion with like flashbacks. So apparently people were
Oh.
having issues understanding what was going on. I'm like, it's not that hard.
It's
guys.
not, and I understand that you're used to that, but come off it.
Yeah. And also John Woo said that, and this is another reason I want to see the Woo cut. Apparently the Universal execs were like, yeah, we really want you. We love your movies. We really want you. We really want you. And they got him. They're like, yeah, okay. So like, do like your movies, but like way less violent.
Whoa.
So this is the less violent version.
Oh, we need
We-
hashtag release the Woo cut.
Yes.
Because the less violent version has a fat dude's head getting blown away through the front of a car.
Oh,
So I want to see the violent version.
yes.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
The non-violent version has that same fat dude get part of his ear cut off.
Yeah. Like Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
But with less
No.
pop music.
Not like Reservoir Dogs.
You're gonna live,
It's just-
man.
Actually,
It's just a lobe.
John Woo said that was like his nod to, because Tarantino had done something that was,
Aw.
because in Reservoir Dogs, Tarantino has the Mexican standoff at the end,
Yeah.
which is a John Woo trademark.
Yeah.
And so he did the cutting off the ear.
Aw, I love that.
Yeah.
Golf clap?
Golf club.
By the way, John Woo is fucking delightful.
Yeah.
I watched this interview. It's still somewhat hard to understand, and the supplements on this disc did not have subtitles.
Uh-huh.
And I was trying to watch it while Whitney was in bed, so I had it turned down real low, and I was like, just turn it up a little bit.
Turned
Turn
down
it up
for
a little
what?
more.
I
Your
didn't
wife.
take a nap. I was
No, it
laying
was in the
down.
middle of the night.
Oh.
This was a couple days. This was last week. But John Woo in this interview is just fucking delightful. He's
I'm
just
sure.
like I read about some of the turmoil of the shoot, like Jean-Claude Van Damme, all that. But then for him, he's just like, it was fucking great. This guy was great. That guy was great. Van Damme was great. Apparently, Van Damme, like personally, kind of recruited him.
Okay.
So I read two versions of the story.
He probably fucking watched
Or I read
Hard
one
Boiled
version, yeah,
and was
so
like, I want to do that.
well, he had seen that and other John Woo movies, like The Killer and stuff, some of his other Hong Kong movies. But the producer, and I think the writer went to Hong Kong and met with John Woo at some hotel to basically get him to come and do this movie. They really wanted him.
Yeah.
The other version I read was that he was already there shooting some other movie. But
By the way,
John Woo
this-
said they went there.
This
so.
is a Van Damme movie without Woo. Probably doesn't work.
I mean, I'd probably still like it, but it
'Cause it
wouldn't
has
be
Lance.
nearly as cool. Yeah, Lance Van Damme in '93. Like,
But I'm
he
saying
was
it's not as
still
cool.
doing-
It's going to be like, what's the one I told you to watch? Inferno.
yeah.
Like, it's like that. It's still fun, but it's super dumb, and it's not anybody's like. You do not need a 4K collectors of that. This you do.
Yeah, which I have.
Yeah, good. Of course you do.
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
From Kino Lorber, if anybody's looking.
They're not paying us.
They're not, but I like to help people out.
Well, especially because if you want this movie, that's the best way to get it.
Yeah, exactly. So they're talking. They're having a little drive. He's asking her name and whatnot. She's like, yeah. He makes fun of her name because she says it's Nat. And he's
You were
like,
named.
Like,
Your parents named you for a. But he
bug.
does like the thing where he has to think about it. Your parents named you for a bug. How do you say cockroach?
but she's like, what kind of a name is Chance? Well, my mama took one.
She took a chance on my daddy. He went out for beignets and never came back.
I want beignets now.
Yeah.
Can you make beignets?
I don't have beignets, but we are drinking Sazerac.
We
so
are
we're keeping
Oh
it in
yeah,
New
we are
Orleans.
delicious too.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink.
Yummy.
But so they find her daddy's stuff because Roper shows them that, hey, I found this.
it's
the
an
shopping
unbel-
cart.
It's the only hole in this movie that these homeless people wouldn't have taken everything. in
Well,
that
I
shopping
think the
cart.
what they're showing here, because
Well, he has somebody watching.
there's
the
a
cart
guy
for
like
him.
guarding
Yeah.
it, and it's like Roper is kind of like the leader of
The
the
guard.
homeless people.
leader of the pack.
And so he asked this guy, like, hey, can you watch this stuff for me? And the
I
guy's
get
like,
it.
Yeah. Also, apparently people really liked her dad. Like, he was very helpful to people, whatever. So,
You know what? No hole.
but they go through her daddy's stuff. She finds a pile of sex flyers,
Uh huh.
which is nice. And they're like, don't judge. He had to give them out for money.
He was passing them out. He was trying to make money.
Yeah.
We've all done it.
So they go to.
Ooh, yeah.
or-
See, him being homeless makes a lot more sense
Yeah.
now. He's just sexy homeless. He's homeless chic.
We cut to the guy who's distributing the sex flyers, Mr. Poe, whose
Uh-huh.
first name I forget, Randall.
Yes.
Yeah, Randall.
Randall Poe.
I looked the guy up, but he wasn't anything I
Roly-poly.
recognized.
I saw a couple movies he's in, but it wasn't even like named characters. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I probably don't know him from anything.
Just this.
Yeah, I've seen this. I've only seen this movie 3 times, but it's been in this year.
Really? That's it?
Yeah,
All right.
I don't have the special edition.
I mean, I
You've
only
never
saw-
seen this before this year?
Well, no, it's been in a year.
Well, you have a Blu-ray of it.
Yeah,
I know you do.
Thanks to you.
Because I bought that fucking Blu-ray from a used video shop, and then a month later, Kino Lorber was like, "You want the 4K?" And I was like, "Well, I do."
You betcha.
I do now.
But yeah, so Mr. Poe is there. He's hiring homeless people to do shit. That's what we see.
We find out it's also the filtration system.
Yeah, he
As it
finds
were.
the people for them to hunt because Vosloo shows up with Lance Henriksen, and they're pissed because he didn't get the guy they wanted him to get. He got Douglas Bender.
Sorry, no, Lance Henriksen's not here yet. This is just Vosloo, and he comes to talk as Chance is there.
Oh, okay.
And then that's a quick passing, and then we get Vosloo and Henriksen going to his house.
Oh,
now.
that's right. That's when Vosloo's beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just it's just that there's no slow parts to this movie, so it's just like from fucking scene one is a ride.
I'm okay
Yeah.
that there's no slow part.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about it. I'm
No.
saying that's why I think why Derek's a little like off on the time frame
Okay.
because
Because
it's
it
just like
goes. I think it goes right back to that real quick. Because yeah, he talks to. We see Van Cleef there, Vosloo, and then we find out that the police. Well, another detective shows up and tells Nat that they found her father's body, and this is when we see our Cassie Lemons. I already forgot her character name.
Yeah,
The
Sarge.
actress's name is
Detective.
Cassie
detective.
Lemons.
I can't get that right.
But she's like, yeah, his fire was burned. Yep,
Yeah,
that's how
he
fire
didn't
works.
start the fire, but it was always burning, and your dad was also burning.
He was burned in an abandoned building, and that's definitely how he died.
Yeah, just you've heard it 1,000 times in New Orleans. Homeless man sets himself on fire in an abandoned warehouse.
Yeah, and I love this is when you get the line that Jack has said many times because she's like, "What are you even doing here to Chance?" And he's like, "Helping her find her daddy."
I have to help her find her daddy. That is my point in life.
I know mine sounds more like an asshole waiter, but I'm gonna stick with it.
You do you. Mine's not even like close to his, but he's also doing a Cajun. Well, sorry,
He's
he's
attempting.
supposed to be doing
Yeah.
a Cajun accent.
Yeah, no, the John Woo interview and the Yancey Butler interview I watched were like, "Oh, it's he's doing a Cajun accent to make it more American," and I'm like, "Is he?"
His coming up, his uncle Duvet also is not great. Like it's a probably like my Cajun accent, but,
it's
better
in
than
and
this.
out.
But it's
It's-
better than this.
It's in and out.
For
also.
sure.
I didn't realize
The man
that
was
until
the
today.
man was born in Salt Lake City.
His uncle Duvet is played by Wilford Brimley.
I was
which-
gonna save it.
Well, no, because I have to explain. This movie is the reason.
Oh, if
that-
you're listening to this, I hope you watched it.
I hope
well,
so.
if you listen to Remo Williams back in November, you already know that because that's the reason our Wilford Brimley is basically just an old weird Cajun because this movie is what we're doing.
Oh, that's
Wilford
true.
Brimley.
We've always done his impersonation of
Yeah.
the old Cajun.
So then we cut back to Vosloo attacking Poe in his
Yes.
bed. This guy is passed out in his bed with his feet hanging off the end, and I'm a big guy, but this gut is huge.
This is a very laying down. My gut is at its smallest it's ever going to be.
Yeah,
So this is the smallest his gut's ever going to be.
and
And
they
it
must have
They
some
had to have
padding
a
in
padding
there
in
because
there.
Vosloo whoops the shit out of him with a baseball
Yeah,
bat.
The
he
way he
does.
passed out, we've all been there. You make it to bed, but just barely. Like you fall down that bed and just go, "Oh, thank God, I'm home."
He's on his back at least.
Yeah.
I've done that on my face.
Well, you can't die on your face if you throw up. This guy has a very good chance of dying on his back.
I love sleeping on my tummy.
Yeah. I'm
But
a
he
side guy.
he attacks Poe in his bed. Lance Henriksen is there. And this is when Vosloo is holding scissors to his ear.
Whew.
And he's like, "Don't worry, boss. He'll listen to you. He's all ears right now."
They're not just scissors. These are like fucking
Shears. They're
These are 1986 teacher scissors.
I was
You
going to say,
could
these are
cut-
the scissors we
fabric
had.
shears.
These are the
Ooh, yeah.
exact scissors we had in my kitchen when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
These are, I think, fabric
fabric
shears
shears.
Like
more than
my
anything.
mom had a little like pouch thing hung up on the wall that had the scissors in it. And
Dope.
it was these exact giant murder scissors.
And you hear this rich motherfucker had a fucking scissors pouch in his kitchen?
yeah. It was rich. It was because we're rich.
That's it just for rich people.
Do you know what hemostats are?
No.
So
I feel
they
like I
look,
should.
they look like scissors, but they grip.
Roach
oh,
clips.
roach clips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When my mom worked at the hospital, when she'd like work with the cath lab and everything, she'd grab some sanitized hemostats and scissors, and she was like, they made great roach clips.
Okay. I've never knew the real name for those, dude. I've used
Hemostats.
those so many times. Thermostats. I get it.
Hemostats.
That's what I said. Roach clips.
So they're there because now there's people walking around inquiring about one of the quote unquote volunteers for their little game.
And he's pissed because we do find out right here that you got the wrong guy. I don't know how this system works, but the hunters get to pick. So this guy, Randall.
That
Well, I
confused
don't-
me a little bit
I don't
too.
think it's the hunters exactly. I think it's Lance Henriksen and Arnold Vosloo.
No, because they
picking-
show the guy coming up, the German dude.
Oh, okay.
They show him like a fucking portfolio.
yeah.
We don't see it, but it shows a bunch. So I think Randall's job is to find X amount of homeless that fit a certain description,
Yes.
fill
Well,
out an application.
They definitely can't have friends or family or anybody that would notice. they're
That's going to be
gone.
Lance's rule. That's him covering his butt.
Yeah, and that's the problem here because he didn't get the guy he was supposed to get. He got this guy instead. He's like, well, he was a veteran. I figured it would work.
You
He's
wanted
like,
combat
yeah,
experience.
but this
He
guy
had
has
more medals.
family. Yeah, this guy had more
Yeah.
medals, which is why he almost made it. 'Cause
Yep.
he's a war hero kind of guy.
So I guess it's like novice, easy or hard.
Him being a fucking Marine in Vietnam as a recon is insane.
Yeah.
That is not what you want to do. So the fact that he made it back is, yeah, he's going to be good. He's going to have some fucking some prowess.
But they're basically telling him like, you got to find another guy for us. This is your last chance. Lance Henriksen says to him something along the lines of like, you're careless and stupid, and now you're sorry.
Yeah.
Like
The whole time, by the way, Lance has his foot pinned up against in between this guy's gut and chest. A bit
Yeah,
of
he
both.
does.
A bit of both, and just pressing on this desk. And I don't know if this guy's a great actor or if it really hurts.
I'm gonna say a little bit of both.
A little bit of both because it hurt me.
You know, Lance Henriksen, I saw an interview with him about this movie. He said something about like one of the main reasons he did this movie was because he wanted to work with John Woo.
Yeah.
And he's talking, he had nothing but good things to say about John Woo. He's like, he's an amazing man, whatever. And he had a thing at the end of his interview. He's like, I love John Woo. And almost exact quote, he goes, I would do all of the animals on Noah's Ark for John Woo.
I fucking and
And not just the females, the males too.
this guy Lance comes up on the spot with his one-liners. We've learned it
Yeah.
in Stone Cold.
Oh, yeah.
On this one, he definitely ad-libbed a lot of the things. What was
Yeah.
the one thing he said?
The
I
one
will
thing-
fuck you and then I will eat you.
Yep.
Yeah. And the one
To
thing
a guy that's dying, by the way, he goes, "Shut up! I will fuck you, then I'll eat you."
the thing I know for sure that he improv'd was calling the hunters at the end of buffaloes and stuff. But that "fuck you and
You
eat
are
you"
a fucking
sounds an
buffalo.
awful
An
lot
awful
like
lot like Lance.
sounds an awful lot like a Stone Cold ad lib.
Yes, it does.
So-
I mean, he's not playing too dissimilar of a character. This is the twin brother. One brother became Chains and started a Nazi biker group. This guy fucking moved to Zurich.
Oh,
you could just say
1000%,
biker group.
right?
They are twin brothers, and
you
he's
could
like,
just say biker group.
well, no, I think it's important to know they're Nazis.
I think at the time they were all Nazis.
Okay, fair. But these guys specifically were Nazis. They weren't just like, oh, we have some Nazi memorabilia. No, we also like the doctrine.
That's why he went by Chains, because he didn't need anybody to know his last name was Fouché.
What the fuck is your last name? Fuck you, pig.
Bobby Boucher.
Fucking Bill Forsyth. This movie could have used some Bill Forsyth,
yeah, I was
dude.
about to
Mice.
say.
Where are we
My-
sneaking him in?
Just one of the hunters at
Make-
the end.
I don't want to take the girl out because I like her, but I was like, make him a detective. Make him a hunter at the end is the
Yeah,
best
one of
thing
the
you
Billy
do.
hunters.
Forsyth?
Yeah, alongside Sven Thorson
Yeah,
and the other
and the
big guy.
buffalo.
Yeah, Jason. So there's like this back and forth where they're looking at Jean-Claude Van Damme's file about his military service. He's looking at the dad's file, and the coroner's report. And there's dog tag in there, but it's just one of the dog tags. We saw at the beginning of the movie an arrow or the harpoon
The bolt.
went
The bolt.
through one of the dog tags.
And then in a very John Woo moment, a fucking slow motion, maybe not slow motion, but a fucking
It was
West
slow
slow
motion.
motion.
a slow motion dove flies in and just kind of perches right above his dog tags that he
yeah,
has.
reminding him that there's
Oh,
supposed to be two.
Wait a minute, they're coming too. Two bird wings. The bird has two wings, two tags. Wow.
So he goes
Two
to
legs.
I did 2 legs.
One.
For breakfast, I ate 2 eggs. Wow. That bird is a toucan. Wow. I'm from Tucson. Wow.
Oh, no, you're not. Don't fucking lie.
I'm not from Tucson, just right now.
I am from Tucson, Arizona, born and raised.
And the desert is where I spent most of my days. Sweating out, dying, passing out cool. Shooting some heroin inside of school.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Tucson,
a
all right.
good one.
The meth prince of Bel-Air. All right, stop messing around.
So he goes to the police site there, whatever.
He goes to the fire police. Not a thing.
The police
He goes to the crime scene,
crime
Derek.
scene.
The crime
That's
scene.
the words I'm trying to think of. Crime scene.
The fire
I
police.
can't because I've got the heroin school in my head.
No, they don't teach you about heroin. You do heroin at school.
Yeah, the
Well, they
heroin
try and
school.
teach you about maths.
Meth?
Maths. No, you already know about meth. You go to Tucson High.
And so he finds the dog tag with the arrow through it, or the mark, and then immediately gets, dude, one of these guys has one of these dog catcher lassos.
Yeah.
he does.
Only reason he gets his ass beat.
Yeah. He ropes Jean-Claude Van Damme. The other guy starts beating him with a baseball bat.
He gets some really good licks in though himself
It's the white Al Leong, at least hairline wise.
Yeah.
One of the best lines in cinema. He's like, it's almost like a get the fuck out, Lebowski. Like,
Yeah.
But he tells
this
him,
is White Al Leong.
yeah, white Al Leong. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Tell that girlfriend of yours to point her tits north and step on the gas.
Tell that bitch girlfriend.
Sorry, tell that bitch girlfriend. It's just one of my point your tits north and step on the gas.
From there, that's the only direction you can really go. I guess you go east or west.
I didn't think about heading south as the ocean.
Right?
Head south and then fucking keep driving.
We see Elijah Roper being recruited, but he's basically offering him $100 to fill out an application. He's like, I don't fucking believe you.
And there could be more.
So he goes to take that 100, and he's like, yeah, I'll fill out the application. That's $100.
Fuck yeah.
He can get a hot shower, hot food, and a motel for the night.
I'm just saying, like, we're
A
recording this
motel
in
for the night. He can get a motel for a month on $100.
This is
1993, New Orleans.
Oh yeah,
It
man.
was like-
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know about New Orleans, but
Not
I
a,
know.
not a good motel, but
No, like the one you see in Big St. John's, like
Or,
the one that
the-
he
the
stays
one
in
they-
at the very beginning.
the one they stop at in Dutch.
Right. It was like $30 a night.
And it's New Orleans. If you're okay with like the smell of blood and or urine.
Yeah, that's what he was telling me. He didn't even go during. He was there in the summer. He's like, the streets still smell like urine and vomit.
Yeah.
We went to Bourbon Street Memorial Day weekend, and I was like, is this just a normal Saturday on Bourbon Street? I thought this was like this was like Mardi Gras level packed,
Yeah.
but it was just Memorial Day weekend. The next weekend was only half as packed, so only 500,000 people
That's
pissing
still-
in the
dude,
street.
there was a time in my life I would have done that. That's not me now.
No, not me.
Even like disease and all that aside, post COVID world, I just don't want you to fucking touch me.
I can flash
I-
my tits anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
You
don't need to be
I
down
can buy
there.
beads online.
I stepped in a puddle one of the nights we were there because I went to Bourbon Street 3 times. Once the first time because you got to go to Bourbon Street if you're in New Orleans at least once.
Yeah.
And then the next weekend we went. Some of my coworkers wanted to go. And we just went to a strip club there. I spent too much money. The next morning I woke up. I was like, could have bought a PS3.
Uh-huh.
Or the third time we went, I was walking around and I stepped in this puddle that I thought was like a small puddle.
So, how high
It
was
was
this puddle, Derek?
almost knee high.
Oh, Groundhog's Day.
But I didn't know until I stepped in it. So, and I'm wearing jeans, so my foot goes into this puddle all the way up to almost my knee.
Did you die?
My jeans were soaking wet. I pulled my foot out and I was like, I'm leaving. And
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's fine. I was like, no, because my jeans are soaked in urine and vomit. I'm leaving because it hasn't been raining, but this hole is full of liquid.
I'm going to go home and light these on fire
Yeah.
while I'm in them.
Yeah.
and that's when Derek stopped wearing jeans.
I had the fucking end of Ace Ventura shower.
I know all there is to know about the crime. I have a friend, Sarah, who lives
How
in
did
New
you
Orleans.
Not die if it went to your knee?
Ugh.
Like,
Ugh. It's-
did
I-
you fall down also?
No.
Because then you're just like, ah.
no, it just
So I got a friend, Sarah, who lives in New Orleans, and she's like, hey, if you ever, or she did, she's like, if you ever come and visit, 2 things. Do not wear open-toed shoes, because she knew I liked sandals. She's like, do not do that. And 2, do not touch any fucking handrails, ever.
Yep.
That was it. That was all the rules for surviving New Orleans.
My rules for New Orleans: go to the Avenue Pub. Everybody listening out there, go to the Avenue Pub. It's great. 24 hours a day, great craft beer selection, awesome food. The food stops at like midnight, but it starts again at 6. So you'll
Oh,
be there
shit.
for both.
You're hungry for 4 hours max.
Yeah. And also go check out Koshan Butcher. I believe it's still there.
Okay.
There's a very fancy restaurant called Koshan. Next to it, they have their like butcher shop and deli. That's where I went.
Yeah.
Great sandwiches.
Yeah, I don't need a fancy shop. I need that fucking sandwich.
Welcome back to Touring the South with Derek. We see the next rich guy, Zenza or something like that.
Yeah,
Getting,
that sounds about right.
I have his name written down later, but he's paying to do this, paying $500,000 for this. And Lance Henriksen mentions, like, hey, we were doing this in Rio during Carnival. We did this in Yugoslavia during the recent troubles.
Yes. So this is how, Whitney, this is what I was saying. If the homeless person wins, they're going to pick up and leave anyway. They are in these locations for a very finite amount of time.
Right.
They find it, what does he say, an unhappy corner of the world?
Yeah.
Where
Lance Henriksen says there's not a country on the planet he has not fired a gun in.
Yep.
So
Wow.
does that
So
mean
he's
like
hunting people in Canada.
Yeah.
if they
Well, Canadians pretend to be nice, dude.
the Geneva Convention was because of the Canadians?
Like, if you hunted a person up there, you can just leave them to the wild.
Yeah.
The wild will take care of it.
There's a lot of
So
wild.
A lot of wild.
is that what would happen? Like if somebody did win, he'd be like, "All right, well, pack it up, let's go."
That's what I think.
'Cause he's a
well,
man
New
of
Orleans
honor?
is dead to me. Yeah, I do think so. $10,000 is fucking nothing to this guy
True.
at all. So
Well, I was saying his name, or his face, because then they'd be like, "This is what he looks like."
nah, he's
And then
a
it
ghost,
goes
man.
Everywhere.
He's a ghost, man. You can't find him. He finds you.
He just grows that like goatee mustache thing he had going in Stone Cold.
Yep.
Yeah, and Quick
Hides
and the Dead.
himself. Yeah.
Yeah, the Quick and the Dead.
Oh my God, is he in hiding in Stone Cold? See, they're not twin brothers. It's him. Just like, you know what? I gotta lay low. I'll be a Nazi terrorist biker.
What was first?
Stone Cold was first.
Okay.
Wasn't that 90?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a prequel.
But so Van Damme interrogates Poe, our fat guy. The guy's getting a massage, and these people obviously like Van Damme because he just steps in
I have
and
a
starts
meeting.
basically choking this dude with his face down into this thing, and he's like, "You're gonna tell me, or I'm gonna fucking kill
This
you."
masseuse will not touch this big
Nope.
fella, dude. She's got a towel around his neck.
Yeah.
Well, it's summertime in Louisiana.
And
That's
he just looks
wet.
like. So we're not trying to fat shame. This guy is slovenly.
Yeah, this is
It's
an early
not about-
90s fat.
Yeah, it's also about just his look of a chompy cigar.
He's
Like, it's
always wet.
he's always wet.
There's
He's
chips
unkept.
along his fucking dashboard.
Oh, his car is disgusting.
Yeah. He has more chips than a fucking late night Nick at Night rerun.
When I was like 19 and I basically lived in my car, I lived with my parents, but I was never home. I was in my car all the time because that's where I could smoke weed and drive around.
Yeah.
My car wasn't
Gas
this
was
gross.
99 cents a fucking gallon.
It was like $1.17.
Oh, okay. Mine was 99 cents when I started driving. I was like, I'll go anywhere you want, dude.
Your car gets messy now, but it's not that messy.
No. This is disgusting. Poe sells out Arnold Vosloo pretty quickly. We did see during the last scene where they were hiring, or this new guy was paying them.
We got the
the
coroner.
doctor was there. They just call him the doctor, but here we find out he's the medical coroner for the police. The detective is asking him about redoing the autopsy on Bender and all this stuff. So we go back to his palatial estate. He's got this old like Gothic mansion in fucking New Orleans.
Well, it's probably explantation. It's New Orleans.
and he's just destroying evidence. Lance Henriksen shows up menacingly.
You know what I appreciate about this movie? It has an 80s amount of smoking in it.
Oh yeah.
Like cigarette smoking. This doctor, Lance, I mean, there are fucking people are just sucking down darts.
Well, this
in
is rated
thing.
R. Although if you look on
R.
IMDb, it says NC-17, but that
That's
was
the woo cut.
well, that was the Woo cut, and then also apparently they had to recut the one they were releasing multiple times to get it out of NC-17 and into R.
Bring it back, baby.
And this is before Showgirls had ruined NC-17.
yeah.
It was still, though, you were going to make less money no matter what. Because an R movie, an adult can bring their kid with them. NC-17, they can't.
You have to be 17.
yeah.
What does NC stand for?
Non-consensual.
No children.
Oh,
No
thing.
children under 17.
oh, so that weird sex scene with Jesse Spano killed
That
it?
might have been part of it. Showgirls was like one of the last big NC-17 movies. Like after that, people were like, mm-mm. Because that movie made $0.
Paul Verhoeven?
Yeah.
Tits.
It's a good movie. Well, it's not a good movie.
It's not.
It's a fun movie.
You like it. You might even love it.
Don't change that dial.
It's not a good movie.
I also have that on 4K. Of course I do.
Of course you do.
All
You're not
right.
allowed to say that.
saving time. I'm Lorne Michaelsing this.
You're wasting time.
I've got places to meet and people to be.
I always say I got people to do and places to see.
I don't have anyone to do.
But I love this. The doctor hears some noise and shit, so he goes around and he's like goes to look through the peephole. And this bothers me in movies, but it's cool here still
Bothers me very much.
because he looks
How do
through
you
the
know?
peephole. Exactly. Arnold Vosloo fucking shoots this guy right through the peephole. But how do you know the person's looking?
Yeah.
I guess he's outside and it's pitch black, so he's just watching for the light to be blocked.
Yep.
Okay. Hold on. Lance Henriksen is the devil. Vosloo is his second in
He can
command.
see through the door.
Telepathic abilities.
Okay.
He's like, he's at the door now.
But when Vosloo shoots this doctor, this shit just splatters all over this fucking hallway,
And then you
it's
get
great.
the best scene ever, and I say that so many times in this movie. Lance fucking Henriksen goes and
Fixes
his hair in a blood spattered mirror.
Yeah.
Tightens
is
his tie.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And
and it's
he's
a good
just-
shot because the blood's all over the mirror. The shot's going right to the mirror, and you see Henriksen walking up, so you see him and his reflection. It's always just nice to see a good shot into a mirror.
Yeah.
This is at an angle, obviously.
Yes.
But without, obviously, this is without the assistance of computer stuff. Because they
Oh.
do it now where you can be looking directly into the mirror because they can just
Another mirror
erase you.
scene we skipped over because we talked about them getting the new client.
Yes.
But that scene opens with him playing, I think it's Beethoven. I'm not that versed, but
Yeah.
he's
Might be
playing some
Mozart.
fucking very classical music.
Some tinky tinky stuff.
Yeah. And he's looking in the mirror when he's playing tiki tiki stuff.
Oh, he's looking in the mirror. When we were watching it, all I thought of
He's
was
fucking himself.
Christian Bale in American
Uh-huh.
Psycho.
Because it starts and he's looking kind of to camera a bit where he's playing. It's very intense. He's not saying anything. He's playing. His body's feeling the music. And it's like, oh, man, he's into something right now. Pans around. It's like, oh, he's into himself.
Yeah.
And exactly American Psycho, dude.
Very much so.
Elijah Roper goes and he meets up with Lance Henriksen and Arnold Vosloo. He's looking for Poe. They're like, he couldn't make it. He had an ear infection.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're not laughing because you don't know I cut off part of his ear. Sorry.
So they tell him the deal: $10,000. Get to the river. You can keep it. That's it.
Get to the
They
chopper.
don't mention that he's going to be hunted.
Sorry.
But
Well, he asks what happens if I don't get there, and fucking Vosloo says, "You're a sportsman. You figure it out."
and then all these dudes pull in these jeeps and dirt bikes and start hunting him.
Which I still think is cheating, by the way.
Well, okay,
They're dogs. I know he even
Yeah,
calls
they're-
them my dogs.
Yeah, they're like his fucking
it's not
hunting
sporting.
hounds.
It's just like hunting now. Like it's
Well, 'cause
not as
these guys
sporting.
who are paying to do this aren't good marksmen or sportsmen. at
especially
all.
this guy's
Poor
first
form,
fucking
poor
time.
form.
Yeah, these are just
That's all I
rich
have to
dudes.
say.
Yeah, absolutely poor form.
These are just rich
sure.
dudes. So you're hunting them with the assistance of people who know what they're doing. But they have a chase through a cemetery because it's Nolans. You have to have a cemetery.
Gots to.
There is a great moment where Roper is hiding behind this statue, and Lance Henriksen pulls out his gun. The fucking was it? What did I say? Thompson Center contender.
Yeah, I
that
don't think
has?
he shoots the statue. I think this is still Xenon.
Oh, I thought it was Henriksen shot the statue.
No, because he's not. Henriksen's not doing anything yet.
Okay. But yeah, he pokes his head up behind the statue. The statue's head gets blown off, and Roper's head is right there. Looking.
He's got that like ooh face.
That's his ooh face.
It's my woo face.
He does end up stealing the gun.
Show me your woo face.
He does end up stealing the gun from this dude though,
Kills him.
and just blasting the fuck out of him.
Yeah, he does.
And at first,
And
I
they
think
think-
everybody's like, "Oh, hey,
He did
homeless
it.
guy's dead." Turn
Yeah.
the corner. Nope, homeless guy's got an automatic weapon.
Ho ho ho! Now I've got an automatic weapon.
Woo! Shoot you in
Woo
your
woo
face.
woo!
So he gets away out into a street full of people who are all just like, "Ew, gross, homeless people."
Don't touch me.
Help
this,
me.
This is where we see
Help.
Ted Raimi.
What was his line?
Man, I ain't
Man,
got
I
change,
ain't got no
man.
change, man.
I ain't got no change, man.
No,
I'm
he
from
starts-
New Orleans, man.
He starts with man. I ain't got no change, man.
Man, because that's a note somebody gave him, was like, people from New Orleans say things like babe and man. Hey, man, I ain't got no change, man.
Like I said, channeling Dennis Hopper for this. I don't got any change, man.
Fuck yeah.
I loved it. Fucking
And
loved
they just
it.
fucking light this dude up in the
Dude,
middle of the
he
street.
stands and he's like, you know what? None of these fucker. I would have taken the belt and thrown it at people.
Oh, great maneuver.
Yeah.
Because now you have a catastrophe in your hands. You kill a homeless guy, sure, you know, you got to pick him and leave. You throw that money and now everybody goes after it. You just killed a bunch of tourists.
Yep.
That gets attention.
Yep.
Yeah.
See,
But he also does
I'm
a
a smarter
character thing
person.
where he's just like, you know what? I'm here. He
Fucking
doesn't
light
want
me up.
innocents to die. He's like, I took this deal. Light me up, dude.
One of the things when he was offered this money, when Lance Henriksen was telling him about the money for the thing, he's like, you can get a house, you can get the respect of people, you can look people in the eye while you walk down the street. You don't have to be ashamed of who you are.
Yeah.
And here he's asking for help, begging for help. And all these people are like, ew, gross, get away from me. And so I think he's just like, okay, this is me. Fuck it. Like,
yeah,
Yep, you were right. I'm at my low.
yeah.
See, I think Lance is a good devil.
Randall Poe is trying to flee from the city. He's like, well, fuck this. This is getting too hot for me. I'm out.
Yeah.
Throwing all his shit in his car, not closing his trunk.
Because it doesn't close. This is like, you've heard of beaters. We've heard of jalopies. This is worse. This is fucking worse. This is a Lincoln Continental that somebody lived in.
But also shat in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're talking about full living. Shitting is part of living.
Thanks for the fuck cab.
Dirty
Oh.
Mike and the boys.
Yeah.
They call it a soup kitchen.
But as he's like closing the car, getting started up, Arnold Vosloo shows up and smashes through this guy's fucking window.
Woo!
Puts the shotgun, the barrel now.
to the base of his
Skull.
jaw.
Skull?
Skull?
Like, yeah, it's you're gonna take off a lot of flesh here if you pull the trigger.
Which he does.
But first he gives that line. He's like, because he's pleading for his life. He's like, please, ma'am, sorry. I was gonna call you. It's just, heat's on. He's like, I know you would call me.
My
You
mom
don't
got
wanna-
sick. My mama got sick up in Biloxi.
Up in Biloxi.
But Lux the Blue.
But he's like, I know you didn't want to hurt my feelings. Bam. And
Blammo.
just we get the view from front
yes.
right of the car. Like if we're looking at it, the right side of the car.
Stage
Yeah,
left.
stage left. And fuck, dude, just blood splatter and shotgun spread open this
Yeah.
window up.
Just
Beautiful.
chunks of glass flying out the window. Does that
Chunks of brain.
Did they
pull it? The
shoot-
window does that like puffed out, like 'cause
Uh-huh.
it's not supposed to shatter, right? It's a
Yeah,
more modern
tempered
window,
glass.
one of those- Yeah.
So what I want to believe is
Got
when they
tint
did
on
that
it.
shot, obviously a human was not sitting in it, but maybe like a dummy filled with Jello.
Oh yeah, you had like a
To
they
get
just they
that
just they just
shot.
put a broom with a
Watermelon?
watermelon on it and injected it full of blood and blasted that fucking watermelon.
Yeah,
It worked.
that would have done it too.
Loved it.
Did he get real skinny all of a sudden? Almost looks like a broom. Doesn't matter.
His head looks the same size.
Yeah, and this is one of those scenes where I see it, and like I said earlier, I'm like, there's a more violent version of this movie.
Yeah, bring it.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Release the
Apparently,
Luca.
it was part of the reason it might not have made as much money as there was people like against it because of the level of violence in the movie.
Is this the most violent JCVD? Because, like, I mean,
It's
we get stuff where
gotta
he's.
be. I
we
mean-
get stuff like Bloodsport has some blood to it, but I mean,
and I mean, like
this
Kickboxer's
has-
got the glass on the knuckles and stuff,
Sure.
but that's still a whole different level.
this,
This is
has heads blown off,
Yeah.
eyes shot out, ears
I feel
cut.
like I feel like this should have been called Bloodsport and the other one called Hard Target.
How dare you? Bloodsport is perfect. It's based on a true story,
Uh-huh.
kind of.
according to the guy that told him it's a true story.
The reason this movie has to be better than Bloodsport, and I love these guys, but Bloodsport is canon, not like Star Wars canon films.
Yes.
And there's no
Thank
way
you for
that
clarifying that.
anything canon films made will be worse than most other things.
But
Even
that-
though I love them.
that movie is lightning in a bottle. But I will say this: I rewatched it recently, and I'm not criticizing the movie. I forgot that it's not. I am going to criticize it. It's boring when there's not fighting.
Oh,
Everything
yeah.
that's not the fighting, I was like, man, I remember this movie being so much better.
It's so much training.
And just when the fight's happening, you're like, cool. This is the Street Fighter movie. I
all
paid
those
for.
Mary Sue guys that were mad
Uh-huh.
about Force Awakens would have loved Bloodsport.
Yeah, show the work, and they did.
Because that's all it is. It's train, fight, train, fight, train.
That might be
train, fight.
Kickboxer too.
Same thing,
Yeah.
basically. Actually, Kickboxer's the better version because Kickboxer has the glass on the knuckles
Uh-huh.
thing. And also was what's that big fucking angry dude's name?
Attila.
No, not that big angry dude.
Barf.
Oh, is it Ogre from Revenge of
That's
the Nerds?
what I was trying to think of.
No,
Yeah.
the Asian dude
Oh,
who's like super
Chun-Li.
fucking ripped.
Bolo.
Yeah. Bolo Yen something. He's in some of the Tiger Claws movies, which means
Yeah.
something to you. Cynthia Rothrock movies. Jean-Claude Van Damme and Nat show up and Arnold Vosloo's still there. They show up with the detective.
Yeah.
Or no, she shows up separately, and then
She-
they show up also.
No, that's she's driving them.
That's
they're
right.
in the back of the cop
They
car.
get there right at that time. Arnold Vosloo's still there. Big shootout. This chick is not making it out of this.
no.
Nope.
Like immediately, Arnold Vosloo blasts her.
It's an unceremonious death.
Well,
Yeah.
it's because Nat was a dumb bitch and got out of the car.
Not
Like-
wrong.
This lady also
Stay
got,
in the
but
car,
the lady
drive
also
away.
got out of the car immediately and was like, "Stay in the car," and then got blasted before, like, while Nat was getting out.
because she's
so-
trying to protect Nat.
But-
Because it's her fucking job.
Yeah, this lady gets blasted with a shotgun, and then she gets shot again, and like Nat's like trying to hold her and like revive
she's
her, and
shivering,
he's
and
like,
she's
"Dude,
like,
she is dead."
Yeah.
Just leave
Well,
her.
but we forgot one.
We
You
need
forgot
to
one
go.
quick choreography moment where, as she's like dying and falling back, she places the gun in his hand.
Another very John Woo thing.
Yes,
like,
that's why I
she's
bring
falling.
it up.
He grabs her from behind and grabs her hand with the gun
Like,
and pulls
slinks
the
up.
gun out.
I almost expected her to like throw it in the air and him catch it.
No, that's
and
later in
her
the
at the
movie.
same
I like
time.
the sensual, like up the arm, take your hand.
It's almost
replace
like
it.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Oh,
If Ghost had more
my
murder.
love.
Not just the one murder.
darling. John Woo
We're
directing
watching
Ghost.
Ghost when this is over.
If John Woo directs Ghost, that Clay scene with Whoopi Goldberg and Demi Moore is so different.
Would we see more titties?
Oh, plenty of tits. I don't know if that's his game.
Probably
No,
not.
no tits in
I
this.
mean, the John
nothing
Woo
in
movies
Face
I know
Off.
off the top of my head. I don't remember any tits.
Yeah, I don't think he would want to distract from his art, which is action, slow mo, and flying birds.
But there is like, if John Woo
It's
were
good
to
art.
direct Ghost, I think you'd have more of the training scenes with the one guy who's trying to show him like use your anger,
Oh, yeah.
and like you'd have more violent shit in there. The demons taking the bad guy down, like that would have been even.
Once he did learn how to use his ghost powers, it'd be a
Yeah.
whole different movie.
Demons are taking that dude
Woo!
down. Birds are flying in a circle around him.
yeah, crows,
Bats.
Crows are-
Oh, crows for
it's a murder
sure.
of crows, babe.
So, yeah, he loves a good murder of crows.
But during this fight, there's a great thing where Jean-Claude, there's this dude riding his dirt bike at Van Damme, and Van Damme just does a jumping roundhouse kick and kicks this dude right off the dirt
and
bike.
in real world, dislocates his foot or shatters it because this guy's fucking riding at you. I don't know. What are you saying? 55
Yeah,
55 miles an hour, and you roundhouse kick him into a helmet that's meant to protect him at 100 miles an hour.
100-pound pressure on your fucking ankle.
If your foot is moving at 15 miles per hour and the motorcyclist is moving at 35 miles per hour, what is the
Well,
speed of impact?
I need to know what time the train's leaving the station, dude.
And that was a Whitney joke while we were watching.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
credit where
I'm-
credit's due.
I'm so funny.
It's
It was
Ha.
funny.
It's a shattered foot is the answer to that equation,
It's a
dude.
shattered foot. There's
Whatever
no
you
possible
said
way.
plus whatever you said equals shattered foot. Movie over. He died.
He takes the dirt bike and Nat, and they drive off. The car and the Jeep are chasing him and some other dirt bike people. There's always a posse.
Uh huh.
In the interview with Yancey Butler that I watched,
Oh,
she said
dude.
that Van Damme was adamant about riding this motorcycle.
Not with her on the back.
He's like, I know how to ride a bike. Don't worry about it. She was on the bike. They rode it, and during the driving, he almost immediately crashed.
yeah.
And so they both had to spend a bunch of a half a day or a day like in a hospital getting looked at and all this stuff. They came back to do the scene the next
You're
day.
riding
So
it
they're
on a
all
trailer.
like, they're just beat to shit. And she's like, and we were so fucking high on whatever they gave us. So like this whole thing when they're like looking at the kid, they were just stoned off their asses.
Nice. Kind of shows in her face a bit.
A little bit. She does give like her facials in this movie. In the beginning, she's so naive and young and just like, what? I don't know.
I mean, she's learning that she's been in communication with her dad because he was writing her letters for a while, but he never mentioned he lost his job or is homeless. So I can get her being naive about that.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like my daddy said that he was doing
My
fine,
daddy?
and
My
now my
daddy?
daddy is homeless and dead. I guess all
Well-
all dead people are homeless.
Oh, you have a hole to piss in.
They aren't pissing anymore.
Well, seep and decomposing.
It's all I want in life is a hole to decompose in.
is it a barrel? No, it's a dirt bike.
I am
There's-
setting you on fire, sir.
They're on this bridge, and this guy is riding a dirt bike at them, and Van Damme shoots it, and it explodes.
Oh, it's great because dude, it's a really romantic scene. He's like, grab the handlebars and grabs this MP5. He stands up. She's fucking
He's like,
driving this horse.
Did you smell that fart?
Sorry.
The dirt bike explodes, and like as Lance Henriksen and his folks are coming up in their vehicles, Van Damme, this thing's sliding at him on fire. So he jumps through the fire, gets another dirt bike, or maybe the same one that they bailed
Probably
on.
the same one.
And then, yeah, he starts riding at this fucking Bronco or whatever it is. And just how motorcycles work, he lets go of the handlebars and stands completely straight up on this motorcycle. It's definitely not on a trailer.
He does the "Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me" on top of a motorcycle.
Yep.
And he's blasting these dudes. The motorcycle is leaking gas. You can see what's coming. He jumps off this thing.
I didn't see this coming. I was like, all right, he's going to like jump backwards and launch this thing. No. He waits for the Suburban or Bronco to hit and has it hit the bike, and he just goes over the top. Parkour style.
Like Sylvester Stallone.
It's amazing. He did go over the top. If Jean-Claude Van Damme had a hat, it would have been backwards right here.
But yeah, he flips over the truck, turns around, shoots the motorcycle. It explodes. The Bronco or whatever explodes. More explosions, just fire everywhere.
For a second, when you said like Stallone, I was like, oh no, does JCVD like getting pooped on under a table?
Who do you
Oh
think
no,
should,
I don't like poop or
who do you
butt
think
stuff.
introduced Stallone to it?
It was my anus.
But they
His
jump
table.
off the bridge onto a train and get away. Lance Henriksen holding out this gun, which I mentioned earlier, but it's this Thompson Center Contender.
Okay, I did brief research because it's a dope ass fucking Dragon Slayer. I mean,
it's
this is
a one-shot gun
It's a
that has
cannon.
a
it is the definition of a hand cannon.
1,000%.
and it has apparently you can switch out the barrel for different caliber rounds.
So that's what made it so sought after. It's a really, from what I looked up and just briefly, it's a handgun hunting gun. And you can change out the calibers, which is awesome, with just a couple of different switches of barrels and sights, but it's super accurate. And this is starting to make sense why he uses it. It's a big game hunter's gun. What's a bigger game than man?
this gun was
Elephants,
also
giraffes,
featured
whales.
lots of things. This gun was also featured in Hard Target, so I thought
Oh, yeah,
that's,
Hard Boiled.
or
You
Hard
said Hard
Boiled,
Target,
sorry. This is Hard Target.
Yes.
So
We're
I
back.
thought that's why it was here, because John Woo, right? But in the interview I watched with Lance Henriksen, he said he specifically requested this gun, and probably because he had seen it in Hard Boiled.
Sure.
But his whole thing was he's like, I didn't want my character firing just machine guns. He's like, he takes his time. He takes one shot at
He's
a time.
methodical.
And he was really
Yeah.
proud of this scene because he's got the gun up on it. He actually, it's not on his arm. He's holding it like a pool cue.
Yes.
He's got it up and he's aiming it at them as they're riding away on the train, and he doesn't fire because he doesn't have the shot, because that's his character.
Yep.
He's 100% like, I take the shots that matter.
And he's got a little belt, ammo belt with maybe looks like 6 or 7 shots, because that's what he's got. You know what I
He
mean?
uses
It's
a
not
solid 12 in the final fight. But,
For sure.
but I also am.
He re-up.
I'm also almost 100% sure that Van Damme using these pistols goes well over their capacity, even though he's reloading.
the ones I can think of, like Berettas, have I think it's 16 in the clip, and then you could put one in the pipe.
Yeah,
He
there's
still
times-
goes over
Yeah,
that.
he's shooting
He
25,
still goes
30
over
rounds.
17. Like, I'm sure there's a smaller caliber gun that can fit more, like an extended clip 22.
Yeah.
But
That's not what's
these
in his
are-
hand.
These are Berettas, it looks like to me.
Before we get too far, I want to mention, so they shoot this guy in the head, right?
Uh-huh.
The Poe. I want to mention, I found something looking through IMDb. So they have the section of like goofs, you know,
Yeah.
like errors or whatever. I sometimes look at it, but it's like, it's usually just assholes being assholes about like, well, this is incorrect and whatever. But I had to write down this one because you see Poe in the car, in the driver's seat afterward, not when the shot first happens, but during the gunfight.
Yeah.
And you see his head still there. This goof on IMDb: a shotgun blast at close range to the head will not leave the head intact.
You know what?
Somebody felt the
Science.
need to add that to IMDb.
Yeah.
And John Woo's like, I know. That's why I didn't want the head in the shot.
He's like, I know they wanted R.
He put a slug in there at close range. It's just blew a hole through
Well,
it.
you do see like
Oh,
a
that's
spread
right,
come
spread.
out,
It can't
but
be
still,
slug.
either way, like just the fact that somebody was like, actually, a shotgun blast would obliterate your skull. Like, no shit.
Yeah. Yeah. He put that thing on him, not close to him, on him. There's a great fucking stunt and just explosion here where one of the guys on the dirt bikes gets blows right up. but we get a good dummy here.
Oh
and the
my God, I
dummy
love it.
stays on the motorcycle,
Yeah.
on fire, and we're all happy about it.
We were very happy. We will always take a dummy on fire that looks ridiculous
Because
over CG
Derek
that
pointed
looks
out,
terrible.
the CG looks terrible. The dummy might be like, oh, that's not real. None of them look real. At least give me a smile with the dummy.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
CG tumbling body doesn't even look like, even on like top budget good shit, a CG tumbling body looks like a CG tumbling body.
Yep.
Yeah.
A dummy looks like a dummy. I would rather have a real thing on fire.
Yes.
Get dummies real work here,
Just-
all right, guys?
They are free. Not free.
Let's just call this.
They're cheaper and they look better.
Let's just call this. I don't know. Boomers going on Gen X, the podcast. I don't know, because I'm just like, why are computers
Back
in my movies?
we used to use dummies, fake people.
We're all
Not fake
xenials.
people, but like fake people.
Yeah, we're all like early millennials, but I just this whole like, where's the fire?
It's the
I don't
back
know,
in my day.
Yeah, it makes me feel like a boomer. Like, well,
Yeah.
you know, in my day we did things. I'm not a boomer because I know that houses cost more than $50,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
If only.
But so they leap on the train, they escape, and this is where we get to the meat and potatoes of this movie.
We are about to get to what the Wilford Brimley of this fucking
yeah. Well, the
story.
meat would be
second
Van
movie?
Damme. The potato would be Wilford.
He
Brimley.
is a potato. And it is second movie because, again, it's been nonstop, but there's different feels to each of these action scenes.
Yeah.
And this is the most charming part of this fucking movie.
so Wilfred is like doing his moonshine thing.
First,
Oh, for sure.
real quick.
Oh, do not skip the snake.
We'll get because first they
Oh,
get
yeah.
so
Do you trust me? Hold on, that was way wrong.
good enough.
No.
Is
do it exactly the
you
same.
cannot do a bad Van Damme because Van Damme.
Exactly. He can't do a good one.
Oh, sorry. Do you trust me?
Oh, nice. I like it.
But like so they get to the bayou. He's talking to the girl.
Close your eyes.
Yeah. This
Why
do
do I
you
have to
trust
close
me?
my
Whatever.
eyes to trust you?
This fucking rattlesnake comes up over the tree. He grabs this thing by the neck, boops it on the head,
First, she smacks it like a bad fucking little baby.
No, bad snake.
and then he punches it in the face and knocks it out, which I don't think is how snakes work.
When you don't know how Jean-Claude Van Damme works.
and then bites
Yancey Butler.
the rattle off.
Yes. And Yancey Butler said in the interview that she has like a deathly fear of snakes.
Uh-huh.
Like
Her
worse than Indiana
face
Jones.
Oh,
was
man.
amazing.
So this
On
is a
that one.
mechanical
Oh,
snake.
those eyes are huge.
Which you can tell this is a mechanical snake.
Sure.
Because they have it act perfectly. And you can get good at dog actors. I don't think you can get that good of a snake actor.
No,
I don't
fuck.
think they're
Not
that
a
trainable.
rattlesnake either.
But no, not like that. Not like that.
Not like that.
Yeah, he grabs this thing, knocks it out with a punch, which the first time I saw this movie, which was probably about 2 years ago, I watched him knock this snake out with a fist, and I was like, 5 stars.
This is the actual best part of the movie. This is the actual. I've sent multiple gifs of this right here today. This imagery of it. There's gifs of him punching the snake, and then the next gif you get is him biting the tail off,
And he bites the tail off because
which I feel like would make it die.
No,
no,
it
it's
does not
bleeding.
die.
It might not be around for long.
Okay,
it just can't warn you now.
That's the point. He puts it in a tree to set a trap. He even has like a piece of vine that's like there to be like a tripwire to pull on the snake question mark, but it can't rattle. So when Henriksen comes through a few minutes later with his group of hunters, which
With his
contains
Sven Thorson.
Woo!
And
Love this man.
We've talked about him before. He was on
Quick in the Dead.
Quick and the Dead,
Mallrats.
which we've talked about. He was in George of the Jungle, which we've talked about.
Um,
But he's a Schwarzenegger guy.
Yes,
So
he
it's,
is.
it's interesting to see him in another action guy's movie. I've seen him in movies that are not Schwarzenegger,
I think this is a guy that'll take any
Well,
role
yeah.
you can give him.
but
You want me to play a fucking guy in a Hawaiian shirt that smokes a cigar with
Oh,
a
wait.
fucking gun? I got it.
oh wait, hold on. When he talks,
when he talks, it's clearly dubbed.
Okay, so we've
'Cause
had him
this
on
dude
the.
has a big old Swedish or something accent.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's been on the show, so
Yes.
we know he's got that like "Two speak American," and all of a sudden his
I
voice
think
is
he's
like,
cleared out already.
"All clear in here. Looks like it left about an hour ago. By the way, my name is Sven Thorson." Just
did not. I was like, what the fuck? In this movie, though, he does look like not Hawaii 5-0. What's the mustache?
Selleck.
Yes,
Magnum PI.
Thank you. He's like
he's
Magnum
completely
PI,
clean
but-
shaven, which I don't like.
Uh huh. And he is wearing a Hawaiian
He
shirt.
might have been
like-
clean shaven in. No, he has a goatee
No,
in
he's got
Mallrats,
a-
I
right?
think
He's got
he's
a
yeah. I think
belt.
he's clean shaven in fucking Running Man.
But I just want to.
What's the
This is episode
what's the
100.
weird alien movie we just did? The
Dark Angel?
Not Dark Angel. The one where maybe
Power Rangers.
it wasn't with him. It's one you watched where it was like
Abraxas.
Thank you. Maybe
Might be
Secundus.
Secundus.
Might be Secundus.
Yes. But because this is episode 100 and we've discussed Sven Thorson a couple of different times,
We like us a Svenel.
I just want to ramble off real quick because he is an Arnold guy.
Yeah.
So just listen to the Arnold movies he's been in. So he was in both Conan movies, playing two different characters, by the way. One of them, you see his face. He's a main villain kind of guy.
That's
He's like
the
the
first
sidekick of the main villain.
That's
yeah.
the first one. Yeah.
Second one, he's got a mask on. But even I watched them side by side, and watching it, I was like, man, that's Sven Thorson.
Yeah, that's Sven Thorson right there. Look at that. You can't hide from me, Sven.
He's in Raw Deal, Predator, The Running Man, Red Heat, T2, Collateral Damage, End of Days, Eraser, Last Action Hero. So he's in like all of the Arnold
So it
movies.
makes me kind of wonder, is he Austrian or, but like Thorson just sounds so fucking Nordic.
I think what I had heard before, and I don't have this verified, I think I heard it on another podcast, that he was an Arnold like stunt guy.
Oh, okay. I got you, because you don't have a lot of big stuntmen back then. So it's
Yeah.
like they don't have the same body type exactly.
Probably someone he knew from bodybuilding.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then they was a good friends with, and it's like, this guy could be my stunt man. They're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
pretty close.
All right.
Just as long as he doesn't have to talk. Not that
If-
Arnold's voice
if
is much
If he's
easier to
gonna
understand.
talk, we're gonna dub him.
And he's gonna sound just like this.
We're gonna need to dub him with Arnold's voice.
Oh, I'm going to do it flawlessly. Have you ever heard me speak in my California accent? Surf's up, bro. Hang ten, you know. Do you want to hear me do a Texan accent?
Are you the
I'm
governor?
riding and roping cowboy.
And there is a guy too in this group who gets killed here at in the third act that looks an awful lot like Jesse Ventura with the mustache and everything. It's not, because he's only like
I heard you got my friend Sven Thorson in your movie. I could die in a Hawaiian shirt.
Arnold, why didn't you call me? I'm not in that movie.
But I saw that you had your friend there smoking a cigar. You've got something to do with it. Why didn't you call me? I know you could have put a word in.
The mate. Dog fight.
All right, that's the last time we talk about Sven Thorson.
The main reason I know that this other guy is not Jesse Ventura is because this guy's like 5'6".
Yeah. And he doesn't have a
How
long
tall
braid.
is Jesse Ventura?
I don't know, but he's a wrestler and he's a lot taller.
Jesse Ventura.
Also, he never calls anybody
Oh, slack-jawed F word.
slack-jawed F word. Yeah, he doesn't.
This shit'll turn into a
Oh.
fucking sexual tyrannosaurus. Sorry, the guy that gets bit by the snake is where we get the line, because he's dying loudly. I'll
He's
I'll
like,
fuck
"Be
you,
too
then I'll eat
quietly."
you, and he just fucking shoots him. And he's like, if you guys died quieter and kept fucking moving, he wouldn't have time to set up these
Also,
fucking traps.
I'm not an expert on how snakes work because I've never been bitten by one. But this rattlesnake, I know that the top two fangs are the ones with the venom.
Yes.
Okay.
This rattlesnake goes right through this guy's cheek.
Yep.
The venom comes out after they bite. So wouldn't this guy be okay?
No, it went into his
No.
tongue. He's dead.
Oh, it bites and then seeps in there as it's
Yeah,
bitten.
so I mean, I guess unless he swallowed the venom.
What Derek
Well,
is
no,
saying
it's
is
in
it
there.
went
It's in
through
the
and through.
bloodstream.
but it went through his cheek.
It's in the. I think it was more on the top part because he was like.
Oh, they
"Ah!"
show two holes right.
You
in the
know who
fucking
doesn't?
cheek.
You know who doesn't
Open your
care?
mouth and
Lance
yell.
Henriksen.
Yeah,
That dude is like,
Lance
I'm
Henriksen, you're
he's like,
being loud.
Yeah, you're being a whiny little baby. Oh, a snake bit me in the face. Get over it. Here's a bullet. Suck on that.
But so the hunters are there to help find Jean-Claude Van Damme. And Lance Henriksen also shoots the fuck out of the snake.
Oh yeah.
Blows its head right off. Uses one of his few rounds to blow off a snake's head.
Now I have to reload, you fucking snake.
And then we meet Uncle Duvet.
Oh, Uncle Duvet, I make it a moonshine. I'll tell you, man, good moonshine,
Okay.
make a jack
Okay, I know a
rabbit smack
duvet
bell.
is like a bed thing.
It's a French
do,
bed thing.
do you think that's what it was? The guy Chuck Farrer writing the script was like, "What's a French name? Duvet." Yeah,
Surprised
sure.
his last name is in Gumbo. This is my Uncle Gumbo. Good Gumbo make an eagle snap at the dragon.
And Wilford Brimley, for those who don't know, is
Diabetes.
the diabetes guy.
Also from Our House.
Our house, I guess.
It was a show from my younger years.
But
He's
go with
previously
Cocoon.
He's
Oh,
previously
Cocoon.
been on this show in Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins.
Go with that
Sitting in a chair the
for
whole
the
time.
entire
I wasn't.
movie.
I wasn't on that episode. We've talked
Oh.
about him.
Unlucky.
And
Were you? Was she?
Unlucky. Don't tell her. It's a really bad movie.
I listened to the episode.
Suffer. Suck it.
I've had to sit through some
But if
stupid
she
shit.
watches it again, I have to.
Yeah, but you also get to suffer, and I don't have to be here.
Don't tell Jack that we're watching that tomorrow together.
You just put it in, like, you want to watch Jojo Rabbit again? This looks a lot like Remo Williams.
Why am I strapped to the couch?
Why do you have toothpicks and a glass of milk and a bowler hat and makeup on one eye?
Why is the dog sitting on my
It's
chest?
time for a bit of that old ultra boredom.
It's the old in out, baby.
But yes, as Jack said, Wilford Brimley's first line is "Good whiskey, make a jackrabbit, slap the bear."
Oh boy, let me tell you, like he is putting sauce on it. It does come and go. You are
It
right,
does.
but I think when his is on, it's better than fucking.
I think it
Jean-Claude.
comes
it
and
is.
goes, and for a matter of like, John Woo is directing the scene. Wilford Brimley delivers it in Ultra Cajun, and he's like, to his translator, "What the fuck did he just say?" And his translator's like,
I didn't even
He's
think
not even
about
talking
that.
French.
Yeah,
He's just like,
Well, it's Cajun.
but
I think he does speak French in some of these lines that
Uh-huh.
weren't subtitled.
according to the
But
subtitles,
it's-
he does.
But it's so Cajun-y that you can't possibly understand.
no way.
Like I said, I've been there. You can't understand them. Like
Les
think
abandons.
about Brad Pitt from Snatch,
Oh yeah.
but like in the South.
Hey, go to Jackrabbit, make it. Go to Moonshine, make a Jackrabbit smack the bar.
Exactly.
I tell you what, there. Get a bar, get a pair of them shoes.
You tell me the
Get a
first
vape,
time
get
you
to
watched
mama.
that movie, you didn't have subtitles on.
I didn't because it was in the theaters. Ooh, burn, sick burn.
Tell me the
too.
second time you watched that movie, you didn't have subtitles.
I want to
on.
lie and be like, I watched it again in theaters the next week, but I didn't. It
I
was
watched it on
subtitled.
VHS.
my
I was in the Snatch Broadway production musical.
my really good friend Crystal
I
was
want to see a Broadway musical of Snatch. Sorry,
Do
continue.
you like dogs? Oh, dogs. I like dogs. I like dogs. Sorry.
I need a caravan.
What the fuck's got a caravan's got no wheels? Caravan's got no wheels.
so my friend Crystal worked in the theaters when Snatch was in theaters, and she saw it like 4 times in theaters.
Fuck yeah.
In theaters.
You know what? I think it was
I saw it
it
in
was probably
theater.
released in like what, 2000, 2001?
Yes.
So I was working in a movie theater, so there is a chance that like the first 2, 3, 4 times I saw it, 2, 3, 4, that I watched it in theaters because it was one of those.
So you worked at the theater that is now known as the
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
And we had a pretty fucking lax place there.
Yeah,
so
you
like
did.
the
That was where
managers,
I'd like
the
to
managers
go.
were like, dude, we can just fucking close up a little bit early and start watching movies and drinking.
So Van Damme tells Wilford Brimley, like, "Hey, there's someone after me." He's like, "I know, I could smell it."
I can smell you, your girlfriend, and all of them. I smell trouble. You smell like trouble. Also, check your front pocket. That chocolate is melted.
Do you still have that 30-06 I gave you? No, an alligator ate it.
The condom in your wallet is expired. I can smell
Dude,
it.
how dusty is this shotgun?
It's
Dude.
only dusty for the shot because it is disgustingly dusty, by the way. And then you get fucking JCVD just doing and it's a slow-mo John Woo fucking,
Oh, yeah.
not a flashback, people. He's just blown that dust, and it is so much.
He blows it off, but then he cocks it, and dust just flies everywhere.
The ghost of Anakin is just like, God damn it, that sand is everywhere.
Everywhere. And dead skin cells.
Maybe not human skin though.
JCVD leaves to try to like draw them away, I guess.
Yeah.
And Wilford Brimley and Nat are still there. The hunters show up. Sven Thorson goes in and just goes ham on this fucking house.
And dude, and that's when we get the lines like, all clear. Because you just kicked the door open and fired an entire clip into this goddamn place.
No one's here. I didn't kill anything. I just wasted $20.
All right, I'm going back to Sweden. That's where I'm from, by the way. Can't you tell by my flawless accent?
But Wilford Brimley is hiding in the bushes with Nat and fires
An arrow.
Is it just a regular arrow?
Sometimes
Just
a
a
scorpion
boring
gotta
arrow.
stand up and fight a giraffe.
Because he fires it at this moonshine. Oh yeah, that's right. Because he hits the moonshine countertop that he's
Yeah,
working on.
That shit
Sure.
is flammable as fuck, though.
Yeah, and as soon as one of those things breaks, everything goes up in flames, lighting a fuse that leads to a bunch of dynamite. This house is fucking wired.
A
It lights a
string of
couple.
dynamite.
It lights a couple people on fire too.
Yeah.
And I only bring it up because one of the hunters is trying to put the guy out, and Lance is like, "We have no time for loud deaths," and
Yep.
shoots this dude in the face.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
And then the house
He's consistent,
fucking-
guys.
This
Yes.
house fucking explodes, and it's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Because
I
there's
wanted more.
so much shrapnel. It's not as much fire as I like
Exactly.
in my bada
I
booms.
wanted the wood to be on fire.
Sure, it's not a big bada boom. It's not the biggest bada boom.
Yeah.
But to Derek's point, man, it is fucking debris.
All these actors are there. This is no like we filmed this and then did rear projection with the actors. These actors are hundreds of feet away from these flying wood chips.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
going everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could
Did you use real shingles? Those are dangerous.
poke an eye out.
And he also has a shed that explodes with some dude standing next to it.
Uh-huh.
Just people being incinerated left and right, which is
It was nice.
quality
And
television.
you know, even the little bada booms are good bada booms.
Yeah. So they start hunting Van Damme with their helicopters. Lance Henriksen's not about that life.
Yeah, he's like, no, we need to do this the right way.
A
We're
real man
professionals."
does it on foot.
Yeah, Voz is like, dude, I can take him out from the air. Not a fucking problem. It's like, no, we're going to do it eye to eye on the ground because fuck him. I'm the devil.
They end up chasing him to this factory and like
Mardi Gras
it's-
graveyard.
And
First, the front half is like a factory.
Yeah.
Like there's like machinery and belts and all this stuff. And then he opens a door into a Mardi Gras storage warehouse.
Well, how do you think they made these Mardi Gras things?
Well, he even
With
said,
heavy machinery.
Paper
How do
mache?
How do you think you make paper mache? Lathes and mills. Yes.
he even said when he's like, I'm gonna sneak away to the Mardi Gras graveyard.
Yeah.
That's what they called it.
Right here, we get fucking Wilford Brimley on a horse. And it's legitimately the best part of the movie. It is the best shot of the movie because he is feet out riding this horse on strong.
And Yancy Butler had a story. So Wilford Brimley's really riding this horse because she's like, he's a rancher or something. I'm like, well, he owns a ranch.
He hasn't worked
I
a day in
don't-
his life.
Yeah, I don't think he's a rancher. But apparently she was like afraid to ride off quickly on the horse. So he just slapped that thing in the ass with his bow and it took off running. And she's like, I had stuntmen chasing me because they couldn't get this horse to stop.
It wasn't the dogs, it was the stuntmen chasing her. They kept the shot.
Here's where we get like he's going in before he gets into the Mardi Gras half of the factory.
Oh,
We
that's
get
why I brought up the
slow-mo.
horse riding. He's so sorry. I'm not trying to cut you off, but fucking Uncle Etouffee tells her there's he says the name. He's like, it's an anvil factory up 2 miles up the road. I'm gonna go there. You go call the fucking sheriff, and she just bolts to the factory. So
Yep.
it is a factory, but so I think it's both. Like
Yeah.
you just said, here's an abandoned
was a
factory.
Where's the
put
best
your
place
fucking-
to store these things made
An
out
anvil
of
factory.
paper mache?
next to the barrels of gasoline and oil?
Good call. Good call.
Also, don't update the electricity in there. Make sure all the wires are exposed. We want some shocky shocks every now and then.
but we get Van Damme running through here, and like right before he picks up this gas can and kicks it at this goon,
This is
There's a
legitimately the
slow-mo
best part of
pigeon.
this movie.
there's a dirty ass pigeon flying over his head. And John Woo was like, I'm known for doves. He's like, but we're in New Orleans, so I used pigeons. So that
Yeah.
one earlier might have been a pigeon also, even though it was a white.
Doves and pigeons are the exact same thing. It's just that
Doves are just a little smaller.
pigeons ate human food. That's it. You don't eat pigeon, but you do eat dove.
It's called squab, and you do eat pigeon.
It's a trash bird.
I
People
ate
in New
Trash
York do.
people. I'm not out of doors, dude. I'm in
No,
them.
you go to a fancy restaurant and pay too much for pigeon. They call
I
it
do
squab.
not.
He orders chicken tenders.
I would eat a squab.
I
Fuck
love
it.
chicken tenders, and I'm not going to be chicken tender shamed right now.
But he kicks the gas can at one of these dudes and shoots it right before it hits him in the face. And this dude, this was the dummy. Because this dude lights up and flies through
This
the
is
window.
a dummy.
Oh,
Yeah, this
okay.
is
Because
another
this
one.
guy's not on the. Is he on the
He
motorcycle?
flips
here?
over the motorcycle,
So
or he's sitting on
maybe
it.
This
maybe.
might be the dummy.
It might be. Either way, this dummy flies through a window on fire, which
Yes.
is class act.
Yes.
And he gets into the Mardi Gras warehouse. Fucking Van Damme descends upon these people on a paper mache swan, just blasting the fuck
I thought
out
it
of
was
everybody.
a Pegasus for a second.
No, pelican.
It was a pelican,
It's New
but I
Orleans.
thought it was a
Was
Pegasus.
it? I thought it
for
was
a
a
minute.
swan.
I'm just because New Orleans pelicans. That's what I think
That
of.
makes more sense.
But he ends up lighting Lance Henriksen on fire,
Yes,
which is
and he's
fucking
really
great.
on fire. His
Comes up,
jacket
dude. This is legitimately the best scene of the movie.
Yeah.
legitly.
Legit. He is on fire and just not worried about it, and he's just fucking full lancing.
Full Lancing.
Full
And
Lance-
all of a sudden, I mean, and it's obviously it's safety
He's-
stuff, but all of a sudden his hair is
Yeah,
very
yeah.
wet. and,
I
like,
don't fucking care. I'm
I don't
fine
either.
with that.
I don't give a shit.
This is
but it's-
great. Yeah. Nobody here's complaining about that. And he's like fucking just like, God damn, this guy's good. Taking off slowly his fiery jacket.
And I love that Lance did that. I bet you he was like, no stunt man.
Lance was a player. I
I'm
mean,
gonna
like, I
do
don't mean
this.
that like a player.
There is a point
He's a
where
fucking
when he
actor. He's
first
a-
catches on fire, he turns his back and it's just like a person fully consumed in flames.
Yeah.
That's almost surely a stunt person with the full
Probably.
body suit.
But him standing there like casually on fire is him.
yeah, that you can see his face. It's
Yeah.
him taking off the
Yeah.
jacket on fire.
And it's not CG.
Tosses that jacket. He's like, what the fuck are you guys standing around for? This is what you paid for. Get to hunting.
Do it!
You are a fucking
Sorry.
buffalo.
and
JCVD comes front flipping over through fireworks and explosions.
One
Yeah.
of many times that he does a just unneeded
Acrobatics.
acrobatic.
yeah, because this one's just a
Aerials?
regular front flip. Later on, he's got one where he
He
does.
does a pike upside down.
Yeah, he
flip
does like
backwards.
I feel like I'm watching the Olympics.
Uh-huh.
He does a flip, a
Wait, like the
twirl in the
breakdancing
air.
part?
Well, no, this is
This isn't an Australian movie.
I want to say it's a front flip pike twist. land.
Sure.
You
All I
she
know
could be
is-
making it up and we cannot check.
No,
her.
All I
use-
know is
love
he's
the
upside down.
gymnastics.
I'm just saying you might be making it up and I couldn't tell you.
All I know is he's upside down and spinning at the same time,
Uh-huh.
which is impressive.
He's
but-
doing an upside down pick six.
He kills one dude, takes his gun, fires it upside down by holding the butt of the gun, the handle with one hand,
then going-
and then just fanning the trigger
Brooklyn
with the other
Nine-Nine. Scully would call this the upsy downsy.
Nine-Nine.
hand. Upsy downsy.
Yep.
Aw.
But he fires
Nine-Nine.
this dude.
Nine-Nine.
This dude doesn't go down. He fires an entire clip, it seems, into him. He's still got a few rounds left.
Again, one
And
of
then-
many.
And then Roundhouse kicks this motherfucker in the face.
Another thing he likes to do a lot is empty clips and then still kick them because why?
Well, kicking's not going to
You
kill
kick them down when they're down.
But he did it with Sven Thorson. Like he fucking unloads two guns.
Sorry about your shirt.
Dude, fucking this guy's got a minimum of 57 bullets in him. Like the way that we watched him shoot. And he's just like, you know what? Roundhouse kick. And then yeah, sorry about your shirt. These one-liners.
It's like the double tap. You got to make sure.
Here's one of the things I love about this movie.
What do you
There's
love
a
about
love.
this movie?
There's a lot to love. You do have this phenomenal action. We're gushing about Lance Hendrickson, right?
Yes.
But then you have these shitty JCVD moments that I absolutely love. It's this just nebulous movie of it's so amazing and also just super cheesy. And this is proving it right here. It's like, sorry about your shirt.
I think this would have been more successful if we would have had the Woo cut. Like
I
I think
think
if
so, too.
Lance Henriksen
Yeah,
was
because it
the
would have been a
star-
Lance movie. And
Yeah.
not
This
a
is barely a
JCVD
cult
movie.
classic. It's, I mean, not a cult classic, but this is barely has a cult following.
Yeah.
It would have a huge one with the Woo cut.
Although this is my favorite Van Damme.
Who do you think you are? No, it's
I'm correct.
it's up there. It's really hard for me not to say Double Impact. Two Van Dams.
Yeah.
Count
but,
them. Two.
But it's dumber. This is like an actual like story with a movie attached to it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Twins that are rich and separate at birth, and one is raised poor and one is raised
And
rich.
one wears silk underwear.
And work with silk underwears is a little more preposterous than a guy trying to help a girl find her dead daddy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
I,
All right,
I have one
fine.
thing to say that you guys are probably not going to agree with me on this
You don't like
one.
JCVD?
This scene is a little too long for me.
Oh no.
Yeah, I definitely.
I was like starting to.
I respectfully accept your answer, but definitely disagree with it for
Yeah.
me.
That's what I know. I know you guys were like, "Oh my god, give it to me," and I'm like, "Oh my god, just fucking come to the end."
This part of
already."
the movie is exactly why I'm here.
This movie
Well,
is 97 minutes long, and this scene is a solid 27 minutes.
And we've
I
been
think
recording
it's
for 5 hours.
because- I think it's because it's just been so high impact the whole time that the finale, I'm just like, "Oh, my
she got
God."
Rambo 3'd.
Yeah,
Oh,
You got
just had
Rambo
fatigue.
3'd.
yeah.
You weren't bored. You were just tired from all the adrenaline.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, you came too early, and your partner
It
still
usually happens.
your partner being the movie is still going the distance, still
Yeah, see,
running
that's
for
not what
speed.
happens.
I just mean not you guys, but no, that's what happened.
he takes care of me first.
You had your fill of that action. It was like, oh, and there's more to go. Okay,
I was just like, okay, come on, guys. You're spending 15 minutes in this scene.
This last scene is like John Woo was like, okay, all the stuff I didn't include, that's my like trademarks at this point, we're putting it in here.
Dude,
Yep.
him and the Vosloo duel.
Well, so first, Uncle Duvet and Nat show up. Duvet shoots this dude through the neck with an arrow, which is pretty fucking cool.
Oh, he does it like through another.
Did we talk about Duvet's?
float.
Oh yeah. Did we talk about Duvet's outfit?
No.
He's got fucking just overalls, red long johns, and white rain boots.
Yep.
Well, they're
But
not
they-
even like just overalls. It's like
Suspenders.
bordering on those ones that you use to like wade in like the cranberry
Waders.
pools and
Waders.
shit.
Waiters, yeah.
Waders, yeah.
Yeah.
Except it's not rubber.
He's about
but,
to go
like, it
fly
goes up
fishing.
so high, yeah. Nat does get to kill somebody.
Oh yeah.
And she
she
kinda
shoots
freaks
this guy
out.
in the dick 150
I really
times.
wish
Yeah,
that
she
you
does.
should have said, "Point your dick north and go to hell."
Because it's the same
It's
guy.
the same guy.
But she didn't hear him say that.
I know, but fuck, don't
But
take this away,
JCVD
Derek.
told her because
That's
he
a
told her
great
to tell
line.
him.
Yes, thank you, Whitney.
Do want to mention Yancey Butler said that she lost a bunch of weight to be extra skinny because she wasn't comfortable playing like the damsel in distress. So she thought if she was skinnier and smaller, people would believe it more.
And that's
I'm
all
like,
she is in this movie, by the way, is damsel in distress.
She
Yeah,
is,
except
isn't
for
she?
this one scene where she shoots the fuck
And
out
then
of this
she
guy's
freaks
balls.
out. She's like shell shocked. Like,
Now-
oh my God, I just killed a man.
She does take that gun though, like really quickly here. Van Damme comes like diving over some shit and she tosses him the gun and he catches it like midair and does
Yeah.
and
so
here's
that's a
your
John Woo.
sexy shot.
That's a
there's
John
my
Woo
sexy
thing. Also, when he's walking into these little offices and he sees another reflection of Arnold Vosloo behind him.
Ooh. There is one time where he's got like one of the dogs with the helmets on.
Oh, it's when he kills Fennel Thorson.
And no.
That's how he
Fennel-
sees. That's how he sees Fennel Thorson coming up. Is through
Oh,
the
that's
visor.
right. That's how
I'm
he. That's the reflection, though. That's what I was talking
But
about.
in here he sees Ocelos or whatever. What's his name?
Vosloo.
Vosloo.
The mummy.
Oh yes.
He sees the reflection and because he's got the dude up against. He's got the helmeted motorcycle up against something, and he sees his reflection, and that's how he's like.
No, when he sees the reflection of the motorcycle is
That's Fennel
Fennel.
Thorson because he's got that bright red.
What happens
shirt.
with Vosloo is he sees the reflection of the guy with the grenade behind him, and now we get spinny JCVD bullet sprinkler, I call it.
Well,
Okay.
and they're doing this thing. They run across two sides. JCVD's in this like little office.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Vosloo's on the
That
outside.
part's cool.
And then they
Oh,
have
it's
they,
fucking
they go
dope.
back to back on either side of the wall, which is another John Woo trademark thing, where like they're talking to each other through the wall, and then they just turn around and start firing at each other wildly, and it's just really funny. And I know it's movie stuff, so it's fine.
I do have
but
to
they're
say,
firing at each other wildly, and Vosloo doesn't get hit once.
Uh-huh.
But the second Van Damme turns around and there's a dude behind him, every bullet goes into that man's body.
Yeah.
so Jack heard something when we were watching this, and I don't think we were supposed to hear it. I think it was a safety thing when you're like,
Oh, the very fucking beginning when they're
firing
hunting,
too close.
Binder. Yeah, you hear somebody say you're firing too close, and I couldn't figure out who said it because in the scene everyone's got a pretty good gun line, a firing line going. So I don't know. It
Oh,
might have been.
okay, I
It
didn't
might have been a
catch that.
safety
because
thing.
even if it is a blank, if you're too close, you'll.
Yeah.
If
Or it could have
anybody-
been.
Alec Baldwin taught us anything.
It could have even been the fucking
Or if
translator.
Brandon Lee taught us
Brandon Lee
anything.
taught us
Yeah,
anything.
fuck. It could have been a translator too, like in John Woo being like, "Hey, you guys are way too close to each other."
Yeah.
It could have been something as simple as that. But I know that your wife just said that she was like kind of over this moment, except for
Except
this
for this
scene.
scene
Yeah,
is
I was
my
gonna say this
fucking
brought
favorite.
you back into it.
This one, because there's
'Cause
a
it's the
part
it's
like
the
you
duel.
said, they're dueling, they're coming down the windows, and then like Mummy has the grenade and Van Damme is like trying to get out of this hole because another dude is coming in with gasoline and fire. And so Van Damme jumps out of the window right as Mummy throws the grenade in, and you see it in sync.
No, that one wasn't from him throwing it in. The guy he was just shooting has a grenade.
And he got
And
shot.
he pulls out the pin, and then he gets shot a bunch because they show the close up of him just like dropping the grenade.
Which, by the way,
Okay.
especially the first time I saw it, I thought it was going to be like a Jean-Claude Van Damme grabs the grenade out of midair and throws it. I do want to point something out. We're, 2 hours in, and
Yeah.
we just now referred to him as the Mummy. I think we did pretty good.
Yeah.
It's been Vosloo. I thought for sure we were going to be like, the Mummy, and just go right away. We did good, y'all.
I mean, you guys said it. I don't know his name, obviously.
But it's
No,
still
he
took
was.
I've been
She
pretty
called.
quiet
I'm pretty
this
sure she
episode.
called him Vander Verven or something just now. Van Damme and Henriksen have their like face off, which I would like to watch those two in Face Off.
Oh God, yes. Pretending to be each other. Lance Henriksen would do such a good JCVD.
And JCVD would do an awful Lance Henriksen.
Yeah.
I am definitely American.
I'm going to fuck you, then I'm going to eat you. I go kill you and I will skin you with a knife dipped in shit. You are either my bulldozer or the biggest pork chop I'm ever going to eat.
Right before they finish off, though, he goes up to Uncle Duvet. It's like, can you stand? And he's like, I cannot dance, but I can stand.
Dude, yeah. All right, can you just answer me correctly real quick, Uncle Duvet? I just need a yes or a no. I don't need a fucking little quippy word of wisdom every time I ask you a goddamn
I have to
question.
give you special joints.
Yeah. Are you okay? I've had a better Sunday morning on the Tuesday than this, but I'll be okay to go for a while.
On Friday.
Oh, because we didn't mention, though, that all happens because Duvet did get shot at one point, right?
Oh, he got an arrow.
He got
No, he
that's
gets
coming
a-
up right now. He got
Yeah.
shot in the leg.
He does.
Yes.
Van Damme flips through fire again,
No reason.
shoots at Lance Henriksen.
This is the Pike one, right?
This is when Lance Henriksen, I don't know what the Pike one means.
The
Pike
upside
is
down
when
twirly
he's like
twoo.
straight up.
Yeah.
Oh, we should say he does in Vosloo. And
Yes.
when he does,
Oh.
Vosloo's trying to do my move of like, I'm dying, I'm pulling the pin on the grenade,
Yeah.
but he just doesn't have
Because
it.
Van Damme's on the ground, Vosloo's body is falling on him, so Van Damme's just holding him up with his foot.
Uh-huh.
So he's thinking, if I can get this grenade,
That's the
I
way to
can still
go. I
take
mean, I'm
him
not
out.
an evil guy, but if somebody was trying to kill me, I would try and kill them back.
yeah,
You know?
I would
But-
shove it in their mouth.
Oh, yeah. Or down their pants.
or down their pants.
Mm.
He does get the grenade from
Ooh.
Vosloo, and that's when he does the tying it up in his shirt. I guess
Because
as
he's
like a holster,
wrapping up a grenade in a shirt.
and he's just got a flex to do it. But he grabs Wilford. Lance Henriksen grabs Wilford Brimley, stabs him like in the heart region with
Uh-huh.
an arrow. Obviously not in his heart because he does live.
Oh yeah, he does just hand.
Yeah,
I bet you in the Woo cut he dies.
and then he grabs Nat, and she said this was a Lance Henriksen idea. He takes the arrow,
Twists
and,
it in her
sticks it
hair?
in her hair, and twists it around, and then pulls her head back.
Beautiful. I fucking
And
love
so
it.
her hair is wrapped in this arrow, and then the arrow is up to her throat, so
Yep.
she can't get away. And he's got her at gunpoint, basically.
Our
Yeah.
hair, especially roommate, our hair is long enough to do that too.
Oh, yeah, I got that. I got hair in my butt crack these days.
Not maybe his
Not
beard.
my hair.
Yeah, his beard. You
You
can do
wrap
it.
an arrow in my beard, but then you couldn't put it to my throat because you'd be.
Watch
But so
me.
yeah, he's like, I got you.
Challenge
he
accepted.
can't- and good on Nat, by the way. She's like, just fucking shoot him, dude.
Yeah.
He's
Do
like,
it.
yeah, he can't. He's got a shotgun. If he does that, we're both
Oh,
dead.
What's his line? He came prepared with the wrong.
Came to pair with the wrong tool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's got the shotgun. He's if he shoots me, he's gonna shoot you.
Yeah, then
He
just
he
go-
tells her to load up
Yeah,
his
you can
gun.
find a way.
And
But then
apparently-
again, this arrow where it is, I wouldn't want if Lance
Oh,
goes
because
down
it's
right
on
now.
her
If
throat.
Lance goes down with the hair pull, he's gonna pull the hair down, and that arrow's going in her fucking jaw.
and
Yeah.
he's pushing it up in there. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not-
Yeah.
tight. It's toit.
Toit.
Henriksen said this was one of the reasons he wanted this gun too. Was this scene because you have to open up the barrel and load the one
Oh,
round
it's so
in.
beautifully sexual
And
too. He's
yeah,
like,
and he
"Load
makes Nat
me."
do it.
And the way he says,
Oh,
it, like,
and it's way
"Load
down
me."
by his dick.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
And she goes and grabs the bullet in a pretty
Oh, she looks at-
provocative way.
She looks
and
at
he just
JC
goes-
first.
But Lance just goes, "Ooh,
And
Oh,
literally
yeah.
right before she loads that bullet in, though,
fuck ass."
it's like a video game or something. It's like in I'm gonna bring it up again. Jack's gonna be like, of course. Scott
Dune?
Pilgrim versus the
Oh,
World.
okay.
When like he's about to start fighting somebody, they'll have a little tussle, and then they have like that moment where they face each other, and the camera zooms out, and it's
Uh-huh.
like so and so versus it's just that because they have a little bit of back and forth. He flips through the fire, all that, and then it's Henriksen and Van Damme standing feet away from each other, facing off, and the camera does like a zoom out
Yeah.
or a pull back. It's not a zoom, but
Van
it's-
Damme
Oh.
sprints
Oh,
at him.
look at you being dumb.
Oh,
I fixed it though.
Excuse
I didn't
me.
call it a pan.
It's
We
a,
wouldn't have known.
He Peter Pans out.
What's funny is if he wouldn't have fixed it, we wouldn't have known.
I heard him say Zoom.
But no, dude, JCVD sprints at him and kicks Lance so hard in the chest,
Blood
and he just
spurts out.
blood spurt.
Oh, also
Not blood sport, blood spurt.
I believe
pigeons
it too.
flying all over behind him while
Yep.
he does it.
Oh yeah, we're wooing.
Weasel.
Yeah, the note I have here for that is monster kick
Yep.
because he shatters this man's insides with one kick.
I'm surprised this dude can
That
talk
sternum
and
is
laugh.
broken.
He says,
yeah.
"Hunting season is over," and he drops the fucking grenade in Lance Henriksen's pants and just shoves him away. And I just love it because Hendrickson's like, he falls, he takes a second, and he goes, "There's a grenade in my pants."
Oh fuck!
Scramble, scramble, scramble. He gets it out,
Unscrew,
and it's an
unscrew,
old school.
unscrew.
It's one of those little round grenades.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not the like the honeycomb one we're kinda
Fragmentation.
used to.
It's not. Yeah.
He twists the top and pulls out the fuse, and it says right on it fuse. And he's like, "Oh, thank God."
Has
The
it too
fuse
close,
sparks,
baby.
but it's too close. It sparks, and he's, oops,
Oops.
kaboom!
Not
Oops,
like
indeed.
not like William Forsythe's last word being badass. His last words were oops,
oops.
and literally movie over.
Yeah.
Well, not
We
literally.
get the one moment of Uncle Duvet being they're like, "Are you okay?" Because it's after he got stabbed. And
Yeah.
he's
no,
like,
it's really
no,
bad.
it's a tragedy. And he pulls out his snake
Hole in his
skin or
flask.
alligator
Alligator
flask.
skin.
And then just not even a freeze frame, right? Like
Nope.
Yeah,
them
they're just
walking away,
walking.
fade to black.
They walk off in the sunset to "Born on the Bayou."
Written by somebody who was
Oh,
born nowhere by you.
Yeah, but CCR is still awesome.
I know they. Well, I don't know about awesome.
They're pretty awesome.
I like them.
You like a Vietnam movie?
Yeah.
Then you have to like CCR.
Fortunate Son, baby.
Good
Do you like
Morning
helicopters
Vietnam.
flying through Vietnam? Fortunate Son is a song for you. Love Good Morning Vietnam,
That's
by the
one
way.
of my favorites.
That's my favorite
I don't
Robbie
know if they're
Dubs.
in that, but they probably are. But that's it for our 100th episode and for Hard Target.
I
100th
think we deserve a
episode.
golf
Let's
clap.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening. I mean, we wouldn't do it if
Yeah.
it was
Golf
just
clap
us.
for you too.
Yeah. Shout out to the patrons, the patrons.
Yeah. That just sounds like we're masturbating.
Well,
not me.
let's be authentic. Do give me a shirt full of Jello. That's a joke only the patrons get.
Become
Yeah,
a patron, by the way. It's only $3 a month, guys.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/worstpeople, $3 a month. You get a free episode or not a free episode.
You
You
get
get a
extra
bonus episode
content.
every month. You get Han Took Shots first, early and uncut or ad free. That's the
Ad-free.
words I'm looking for.
Uncut, baby.
You get a newsletter every month, and we're gonna have more stuff coming for
The more
patrons,
patrons we
so-
get, the more stuff we're going to try and do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
we have a lot of ideas. So I know times are hard out there. Groceries cost like $75, so you
Fuck,
can get a
you
bag
ain't
of
kidding.
Cheetos and a frozen
Skip
pizza.
a day of getting coffee and
all right,
just
let's not start to sound like
Yeah,
fucking
don't
old,
boomer
old
us here.
boomers.
But
Just stop having avocado toast.
if you've got $3 a month to spare,
Yeah.
we could really use it. It helps keeps the light on, and it helps you get extra content.
you can support some working alcoholics.
Yeah, some high functioning alcoholics.
On Patreon this month, our Patreon exclusive mental health episode will be Tremors, the original with Kevin Bacon
Oh boy.
and oh man, what's his name?
Fred Ward.
Well, Fred Ward, the guy from Big Trouble in Little China,
Oh, Victor
Russell?
Wong.
Victor Wong. Yeah, there you go.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell was in Tremors.
You fucking wish. I do too.
He said Big Trouble Little China.
I know, but I knew exactly. I was cross-referencing in my head, and I knew that Kurt Russell wasn't in
Victor Wong
Tremors.
owns
I didn't listen to that part.
Victor Wong owns the grocery store.
He plays
Oh,
Walter.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, got it. Also, don't forget about the dad from Family Ties.
Never.
Yes.
Or Reba McEntire.
Reba McEntire.
I hope you
is
guys
in that
like
movie.
really bad Reba McEntire impersonations
Because you
because
getting it.
I couldn't even get penetration with the elephant gun. On its way.
So that's this month. Next week, we continue the show as we always do. On Monday, we will be releasing our next episode, which I'm also very excited about. And it was a close tie for 100, but because we have only done one JCVD movie, we did Hard Target.
Yeah.
We're doing Hackers.
Oh, yes.
Hackers would have been a good 100 as well, but
But it's the day after it released 25 years ago, 24 years ago, whatever
Yeah.
it was. So that'll be fun.
I'm
So
excited.
that's our next one.
Fantastic.
That's Johnny Lee Miller, Angelina
Yes, also
Jolie.
known as Angelina Jolie's first husband.
I like how we skipped to the recommendations because we all just recommend it.
Oh yeah, we
It's
didn't
such
talk
a
about
hot
that. But
fire
I feel
movie.
like we already knew.
I don't
Recommendations.
Whitney might give it a 4-star out of 5, and that's the low.
Yeah.
I know that we're giving it 5.
I said 2.5 thumbs.
yeah.
She started talking Patreon, and I went into the. Patreon.
I know. Yeah, as you should. You're a businessman.
Yeah.
I'm a
Recommendations,
businesswoman.
right? I mean,
Well, I'm not.
Anybody who listens to this knows we all recommend.
Yeah,
this,
you
right?
heard the episode.
Jack and I more than Whitney, but barely.
Barely.
Not by much.
It was just the end where I was getting, like you said, fatigued. And then
Yeah.
I got right back into it.
Some action movies make you tired, but not like Michael Bay action movies, which make you really tired. When you're sitting there and you're like, it's been an hour,
Yeah, it's been.
and there's still a
One
2-hour
way to
movie
look at
left.
me.
Yeah. This did not have the Michael Bay fatigue.
No.
No, definitely not. I will take a woo over anything else fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I know he's gonna bring me right
I mean,
back.
the most recent John Woo, at least for America, I did not see. It looked interesting, but we never ended up going to see it. It was last year's version of Violent Night. It's our new tradition in America. Apparently, is hyper violent Christmas movie.
Oh, Silent
Last year was
Night.
Silent Night with Joel Kinnaman, which looked interesting, but also the trailer looked full of really bad CG.
That's what turned me off, and I never wanted to see it because I'm like, God, your trailer looked like that. You
Yeah.
couldn't even just leave that out.
I mean, who knows what we're doing in December? That's months away.
Probably Violent Night.
About 3 months away. I mean, Violent Night will probably be there, but if it is, it's Patreon.
Love that one.
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say.
But-
I'm still recommending it.
What, Violent Night?
Yeah.
I was talking about Silent Night looking
Talking about
bad.
this.
Oh, okay. Who knows what we're talking about anymore? Welcome to 100 episodes of Confusion. I've been Derek.
Whitney's drunk.
I'm Jack.
Good whiskey make a jackrabbit slap a bear.
Work on your fucking New Orleans bayou calls. Ri-ti-ti-ti. Cheepa, 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 cheepa.
You're daddy. Cheepa, cheepa, cheepa.
Cheep, 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 cheep. You hear that?
Whistle, whistle,
It's a
whistle.
wazoo bird. Cheep, 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 cheep. Oh no.